Hello, and welcome to episode 35 of
The Eldritch Podblast. I'm Jack.
And hello.
Hello.
I thought you were going to have much more of a visceral reaction to what I did.
What did you do?
Did you not hear
I couldn't hear you over my own antics. What did you do?
I did the get coming and get going.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
The Eldritch Podblast.
Yeah. I was like planning it. I was like, he's going to love it.
I didn't even hear it.
Well, welcome.
Give me one more time.
The Eldritch Podblast. I'm so sorry, everyone.
The Eldritch Podblast.
The Eldritch Podblast. I'm so sorry, everyone. I don't know why I'm starting this video with this energy.
Love it. That's the energy we need.
Thank
Every
you.
second of the day.
Everyone.
Till I wake up, till I go to sleep, we need to have this energy.
That's Reyla's wolf voice.
Yeah.
That's categorically Reyla's wolf voice from now on.
I've said, do you want to do a voice like that?
You know what you did?
I did. And
You
you
did.
said no.
I was too shy.
Yeah, I know.
I was too shy. I'm kind of shy when it comes to doing voices because I'm not, as you probably could tell, I'm not good at them.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, thank you.
You're very good at voices. You're very consistent.
Thank you.
You just sort of like work on a voice until you get it. And then when you get it, I feel like you sort of never lose it.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Which is
you.
very,
You know
very
what?
good.
I think that is a testament to the people at our table because they are also very consistent.
Yeah, everyone's very
Like-
consistent with voices.
Abby and, well, I would say Matthew actually has a really strong, like, it's not Swedish. What's his voice?
It's like Icelandic, Finnish.
Yeah.
or something
Yeah, it's
that.
like a really, really strong
Yeah.
accent.
Very up and down and
So that brings me into it. And Abby's much more mellow, which is more
Yeah.
like Reyla's,
Yeah.
which keeps me, you know.
you're sort of like the in-between of the two of them.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. And Igneous's voice is just calm, cool,
Yeah.
collected, baby.
Quite deep, quite gravelly.
Yeah, it is. You know what? The other day in the Discord, we were in the voice chat playing, playing Minecraft, and people were like, oh, go on, give us Reyla's voice. I couldn't. I simply couldn't. I shriveled up and I got really shy and I couldn't do it.
Do you want to do it now?
I can't.
That's okay.
I don't think I could.
Fine.
One day, I promise you'll hear Reyla's voice, but Reyla's voice is like one of those things where when I first started, it comes out really weird. And
I think
then,
it does.
oh, thank you. But then I warm into it. And then once I'm in it, I'm in it.
I remember last session, which we'll talk about a little bit, but we weren't going to talk about this bit. Was it last session or the session before? I don't know. We started role playing, and it was the session before because it was when we just got into Igvil's house, and it was like quite a high tense situation.
Yes, yeah.
And I set the scene, and then Matthew was the first to talk.
Oh, and he came
turned
out
to
with
me,
a French accent.
and he came out with his other character's accent.
Yeah, because his last character had a very strong French accent.
Very strong French accent.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Listen, we're not.
We're not fucking voice actors.
That's going to surprise you. We're not professional.
I don't know.
I know you're shocked.
You
Sit
get gabbing
down.
and get going. It's pretty impressive.
Thanks,
It's
Jack.
pretty professional, I would
thanks,
say.
Thanks, Jack.
Get gabbing or get going.
Yeah, I much prefer your get gabbing and get
No,
going.
yours is.
We have a common enemy.
We have a common enemy.
enemy.
Yeah, that's what the when they go into the human forms. That's what they say. This is World of Warcraft. By
This
the
is
way.
we're talking
This
about.
is the
Sorry, this is
Worgans.
absolutely 100% World of Warcraft. Wow, how did we get here? Yeah, one
don't
day I
know.
promise I'll show you Reyla's voice.
Yeah.
I would try now, but I know I'm a bit too shy.
But the thing is, right? You could do it now, and if you don't like it, you can cut it out.
I could cut it out, couldn't I? No, what would I even say?
I'm Reyla.
She never says her name though, does she? You know what I'm worried about? I'm worried I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hear it editing,
And then
be
everyone's
like,
gonna be like, it's trash.
well, no, and I'm gonna be like, that's hideous. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. I don't know if you do this.
The thing is, it's like, I know everyone out there would be very, very like. First of all, I think quite impressed,
thank you, Jack.
and also, yeah. The thing is with you, you're always gonna think that.
Well, no matter what,
No
no
matter
matter what I
what,
did.
no matter what.
I listened to my Get Gabbing or Get Going last week, and I was like, the visceral goosebumps my body went through hearing that. It's like my body turned inside out from the cringe.
That was great.
Thanks, Jack.
just silly voices, isn't it? That's all it is.
Yeah, I'm worried that I'm going to listen to it and be like, you know that meme where it's like you hear yourself on the phone. I was going to say the telephone. Oh my God. You hear yourself
the
on the
corded
corded
house
telephone.
phone.
Yeah, make sure no one's on the internet. And then you hear yourself and you're totally different. Man, this has been a humbling experience, listening to my voice in whatever this is.
I think at the beginning it was very like, I was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
But now,
I'm used to it now.
I'm used to it now because, you know, I fucking listen, I edit the TikToks. I
Yeah.
listen to us like 14 times over just editing one TikTok. So I'm
Yeah.
just so used to how we sound
yeah,
now.
yeah. Like I'm I've always been really self-conscious about my voice.
Yeah,
like
know,
I have like quite a deep voice, I think, for a girl, and I've always been told I have a deep voice for a girl. Surprise, surprise, by boys. And
give me.
I've always been told I have a weird voice.
Yeah,
my whole life.
I don't think you got a weird voice at all. I think you got a very interesting voice, personally. If I would,
that's code for weird.
No, it's not though.
You got a special voice.
You do have. No, but like it is. It's because it's an amalgamation. It's an amalgamation of accents, isn't it?
Thank you. Yeah,
because
it is.
You grew up in quite a lot of different places.
I moved around a lot as a kid. Like because of my dad's job. So yeah, I have a really weird voice. I know I do. I know I have a weird voice.
Not weird. I think it's very nice to listen to.
Oh, thank you.
And I know that there's a few people in the Discord who agree.
You know what? Actually, hearing people being like, we hear this all the time. We both apparently have really calming voices, which
I can 100% understand about you.
No, I think you're very.
I think
when you're not blowing people's ears out. I think
do that.
you're very gently spoken. I think on the podcast.
Yeah, and I don't have ever been referred to as gently spoken.
No, but you're gentle in your like the way you talk. Like you're fucking loud. I will say that. Oh god, I swear. But you're very gentle in the way you talk, especially like when it's
I heard that from somebody else, and I
think it was Izzy. Yeah, I think Izzy said you're quite gentle.
That was surprising.
No, it's true. You are.
To say the least.
No, you are.
Well, thank you.
You're thank you. Hearing like the compliments that people have given me about my voice, specifically, has made me feel much more comfortable in my voice because, again, I know it's different. I know it's I got bullied my whole life for it.
No.
So. Oh yeah, come on, feel the pity party.
Let's get him.
Come on, everyone. Oh, get him.
Let's get him.
Ratlings, get your swarms. Kill them. Yes. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? How are you doing? What are you up to?
Answer.
Why are you in my house?
Answer her.
Oh, they're in my house.
Get out!
Get out my house.
Get out my fucking house.
Sorry. Hi, how are you doing? I hope you're well. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Nice.
I'm very good.
Yeah, great. That's awesome. I'm super fucking glad to hear that.
Thank you. I'm feeling great.
Wow, that's awesome.
I'm feeling ecstatic, over the moon actually, because
that makes me feel good.
We got our mods for our Discord.
We did, didn't we? Yeah.
The week passed, and oh my god, the difference in our quality of life. And it's only been like what, a few days.
Yeah.
At the time of recording, our quality of life is completely already changed. I think.
Yeah.
Because there's like 400 plus people in the Discord. There's obviously always things going on, not bad things.
No, there's just
things.
Always something going on with that many people. Yeah, there's always things going on.
Yeah, and people trying to get into like the game servers and people with general questions. And man, our mods have already come in and already stepped up. And we had a meeting with them. Which went on for so much longer than we thought.
It was supposed to be like an hour thing. It went for 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. Because we ended up just talking because, these are people in our community. And firstly, I would like to say thank you so much to everyone who applied to be a mod.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of if you were successful or not, we appreciate the fact that you wanted to, volunteer your time for us. So thank you. That's a huge thing.
And, I imagine as it keeps growing,
we're going to need more.
We potentially might need more.
Yeah.
So, those applications that you've already sent in aren't just going to get chucked in the bin or anything.
Yeah, they've all been considered.
Yeah.
We still have them. We haven't deleted like the responses or anything. They're all still there.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much, truly.
Thank you.
And thank you to our mods who we picked. Should we give them a shout out?
If you want to, yeah.
Should we give? Well, I don't know if they're. No, I was going to say they don't want to be doxxed, but they're in the Discord. So we have. Come on, let's. Should we give them a clap every single time?
Oh yeah, okay. All right.
We've got. So our GM, our British team is Kay. Woo, Kay. And Izzy. Woo, Izzy. Our Oceania team is Sherry. Sherry and Paris. Woo!
I can't wait to not be able to hear these claps. They won't get picked up.
Our American team is Ratty P. Woo! Ratty P. Also known as Squaddy P.
Or Ear Peters.
Yeah. And then Lynn. Woo! Lynn! Thank you so much. You have already made such a huge difference to our lives. You've already really helped. You're eager to help, which is the most important thing.
Just taking, little bits that we would normally do and just taking care of them. Just been great.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah, it's been able for us to just relax a little bit more.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
being in the Discord with 400 people, it's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people.
400
It's
people is a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. And, we would love to be able to dedicate our time to every single person. And trust me, we do try.
Yeah.
But there's some things that it's just too much for us to handle all at once.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure you saw last week's episode where I was maybe a little bit in my feels about some of the things going on. And, already I feel, even after we posted that and kind of, the outpour of love.
Which was very much appreciated.
Yeah,
by the way.
very, very
For
much
everyone
so.
who reached out to us, we appreciate that.
You kind of you pulled me out of what could have potentially been a bit of a rut, I think.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I can definitely tell.
Yeah.
Since last week, the change.
Oh, 100%.
Which is great.
Yeah, I can as well. And I took some much needed time for myself. I'm continuing to take some time for myself right now, and I'm going to come back feeling funky and fresh.
Yeah, great.
So
That's
thank
amazing.
you. Thank you. How did we get onto that?
I don't know. But
What did we say
great.
to get onto that?
We were just giving a little recap.
Yeah. Well, hold on.
What's next?
Yeah. Well, you know what? You can tell I haven't been referring to my notes because
we haven't referred to our notes once so far.
Because we're 11 minutes in, and I think all we've talked about is World of Warcraft and our Discord.
Yeah.
Join our Discord.
Join the Discord. The invite links in the description down
Meet
below.
our mods. Meet everyone in our community. They're great people. So let's go from the top, shall we?
I mean, that's a good place to go from.
That's a good place to go from. So in last episode, in Thursday's episode, we had mentioned that we had some wonderful clicky clackies sent from the wonderful
and
Jen.
for those of you who don't speak Margaret, that means dice.
That means dice.
Clicky clacky.
Little math rocks. And we are over the moon to say that another member of our community called Sarah, she reached out to us and she said, I'd love to make you some dice.
Mm-hmm.
And should we just show them?
Yeah, show them off.
You know what? When I was editing last episode, I realized how much you truly could not see anything of what we were holding up to you. But I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Woo. This is as far as I can go. Truly, this is as far as I can go. But
Woo.
we will, of course, put some pictures in.
They are beautiful. It's another set of, there's 2d20s.
Yes, it's an advantage set.
2d6s.
Yep.
And then there's a beautiful little awesome...
it's like a variant of the Crystal D4.
Yeah, Crystal D4.
And
I love that. It's so awesome.
There's a D2.
Yeah.
Which has the...
And at the beginning, I was like, how do I tell which side? On one side, there's 1 star. And on one side, there's 2 stars. So that's odds and evens. So you can flip it up, which is amazing. I love that. And I do like, as you will know,
in
combat, if nobody's done anything,
you go
or nobody's attacked anyone, I always flip a coin between, or maybe you have to roll a d6 if there's 3 people in there. So these will get a fucking load of use from me.
100%. And as well as that, they come with little potions.
So they're called Bottled Star Dice.
Yes. Sarah's Etsy shop is called BottledStarsDice. We will, of course, leave all of the links below.
And when you order a set, you get this cute little... Basically, the mix that I imagine, or a similar colour mix that's in your dice, you get a little bottle of, which I think is just absolutely adorable.
Man.
This sits on my computer desk.
It does. We had to drag it out for this instance. Absolutely gorgeous.
We did the same thing as we did with the last set that we got from Jen. And we swapped.
We swapped a D20.
Yeah. So and now I have one of Margaret's D20s, and
I have one of his D20s. So, my dice are based around Reyla, my Moon Druid. They're actually called Moon Druid.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
And Sarah asked could I have some references of Reyla so I can get the colors right? And I will put up a picture of the art I sent her compared to the dice.
Yeah.
And my god. Thanks, Jack. Thank you. Yep.
Before we forget.
If this doesn't encapsulate Reyla, I don't know what does. The purples, the pinks,
the color palettes,
the
very
silver,
very on point.
Oh my god, it's absolutely beyond perfect. And this whole dice set I feel really encapsulates Reyla, and I absolutely love them. Pink and purple, obviously, are my favorite colors. If you couldn't tell, so they're absolutely beautiful. I love the fact that there is 2d6s. I love the fact that there is 2d20s.
I love being able to, and do you want to know what I fucking live for? On the d6s, you've got I imagine it's the Bottled Star Dice logo for the 6. You got a moon,
I don't know why
which
I'm
is
holding
perfect
this
for
up.
Margaret on
Yep.
the 1.
There's a moon.
And then on all the other sides, there's literally stars.
Yeah.
And you can count the stars.
Yeah.
Which I think is beautiful.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
That was a 1. So
This is a perfect set for Reyla.
And in mine, I just wanted something a little moody. And I just wanted something a little dark and stormy.
Yeah.
And it's come with, like, there's parts that are see-through.
Mm-hmm.
There's parts that are, like, opaque with the dark blue. They glisten in the light.
Yep.
And there's parts that are, like, deep, like, black parts. I just fucking love it so much. Like, anything, as you can probably tell, I like black. I like the color black.
Yep, me too.
And I love blue, but not in just, like, the sense of a blue. I like a deep navy blue.
Yes, yeah,
I love anything, like, the curtains that are there.
Yeah, and that's what we said to Sarah. And also that's what we said to Jen, is you like really dark,
like,
moody
just
colours.
dark, moody colours. Anything that's, like, the complete opposite of my personality.
Yes,
Brooding.
Yes.
I just love the look of.
Yeah.
So I just love it. I think so. Now it's amazing. So I went from those 3 big chunker D20s.
Yeah.
That I had for years. And
Yep.
I never buy, like I said last episode, I don't buy anything for myself.
Jack does
So
not.
basically, I've just had my full set of dice revamped by the community.
By the community, which is amazing.
They're, just so you all know, they are my ride or die dice now.
Yep.
These and the ones that Jen sent last week. These are the only dice I use, and it feels amazing to be able to just roll something that's made by the community.
100%, you can feel the love, can't
just,
you?
like-
that, like, the people who made these dice for us, they did it because they wanted to do something for us. They wanted to give us a gift, which is, that's the sincerest form of love, isn't it? Being able to give someone a gift like that. So, truly, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much.
Yeah. Set them out there.
And, we said it last time. We really appreciate the fact that people want to go out of their way. People do fan art. People are sending us dice. People are sending us, general things. Especially because if you have a small business and you're taking your time to send us something from your small business, we know what it's like. We have one too.
Yeah.
If there's anything you like in our shop, please let us know, and we'd be happy to do at least some sort of art trade.
Yeah, we want to give you something for your time and effort. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at them. Look at how beautiful they are.
I know. Oh, no.
What are you doing?
Oh, sorry. I couldn't see it.
What are you
Put
doing,
it there.
Margaret?
So,
You're
yes.
fucking no shit up. Beautiful.
Please go ahead and check out BottledStarsDice on Etsy. All the links are below. And thank you so much, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah.
They're gorgeous. Thank you.
So many talented people.
So many talented people. We
What's
say
with
it
all
every
the
single time.
talented
I
people?
know. Give me some. Give me some of your talent. Please stop hoarding it. I need it.
Okay, next.
So, on to...
We got some fan art, baby.
We got some fan art, baby.
Couple of cuties here, actually.
Couple real cuties, I gotta be honest. So, this first one, I do not know which meme time we put it in. I think it was last week's
I think it might have been
meme
last
time.
time's meme time.
There was this weird meme that Harrison sent, and it was like a text conversation of someone pretending to turn into a werewolf.
Yeah, and it ended with somebody like flashing away and then coming back as a wolf, and it says, wolf voice.
Hello, my dear.
Hello, my dear.
And, well, if this isn't...
This is...
this is Reyla.
Literally Reyla.
Literally Reyla and a
Whaler?
wolf voice. Whaler and a wolf voice. Hello, dear. Yep, you heard it. Yeah.
I like it.
Thanks, Jack.
Hello, dear.
See, mine's kind of more like a weird constipate. Yours is like a from the deep, you know? Hello, dear.
Hello, dear.
Thank you. That's it. So this was done by, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Domiborealis on Twitter. I will, of course, leave the links
I think
to
that's how you say it. Yeah.
the Twitter below. And,
Adorable. And
Adorable.
it's like people are just like doing these as jokes and stuff, and I'm like, man, I wish I could draw it.
I know, yeah, same. Literally same.
Somebody drew me as a rat the other day as a joke, and it was Kate.
Yeah,
in
it was
Discord.
Kate. Yeah, it was Kate.
And I was like, she literally said, I'm just on my lunch break.
lunch
So I
break.
just thought I'd draw Jack as a rat doing something, and I was like, what the fuck is...
How do
you
people
do-
how do
you
people do this?
this?
How do people do this? How do people literally just draw?
Just on my lunch break,
Like
just
on-
making art that you could never create.
yeah, like on what? It was digital. On what? How did you
How
do
did you
that?
do that?
How
Where?
did you do that? And you know what? Honestly, Domi, thank you so much. I genuinely,
good.
unironically fucking love
I love it.
this.
It's so good.
I absolutely love this. Thank you.
Aye.
You made me have a good giggle. Hello, dear.
Hello, dear.
So the next one, this has been sent in by Goblin Lou in the Discord, and they're
Bod Goblin on
Yep.
Instagram.
bod_goblin_ on Instagram. I will of course leave the links. And look, isn't that
how sweet is that?
I love this so much. This, like, I think someone said, like, the expression on Margaret's face scratches an itch in my brain.
Oh.
And did you hear that?
In my
brain.
In my gullet, apparently.
Yes. And oh my god, I
Oh.
completely agree. I just think it is so
cute. I don't know. It's unreal. Like with the TV in the middle.
Yeah, I love the way that,
I
like,
love the. I don't know what it is.
I
just think it's adorable.
I do too.
I just think it's absolutely adorable.
With like the Squad Blast and the Moon Druid and the Discord and like the banner. Oh,
it's cute.
it's adorable.
It's so cute.
I love it. So thank you so much, Lou.
Thank you, Lou. That is just.
That's adorable. I love
That's
it.
the first time someone's drawn me not as a rat. So
It is the first time someone's drawn you not as a rat.
I do really appreciate it, Lou.
Well, you know what?
Not that I don't have a problem with being drawn as a rat. Keep going.
Well, you
It's
know
fine.
what? Actually, now we've mentioned that Kate drew you as a rat, I'm gonna go dig around and find it. Kate, here we go.
That's pressure.
Here's-
the pressure.
Here's Jack as a rat. This is Kate in our Discord.
Yeah.
And Kate is actually on the topic of having server moderators. Kate and another one of our community members, Wolf, are actually tech mods, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, they help out with the Minecraft server, the Valheim server. They're the sort of big ones that we've got up at the minute.
Yeah.
They're the tech support.
Yep, Wolf has been, and I cannot stress this. We would not have any of the game servers if
No.
it wasn't for Wolf.
No.
Wolf pretty much single-handedly talked everyone through how to do it,
Yeah.
and we would be lost without him,
Lost.
to
Gone.
be honest.
Lost. Finished.
So Wolf
Over.
is the head
I've
of
given up.
the tech mods. We should have mentioned this when we were saying the server mods, to be honest.
Alright, we're doing it now.
But Wolf is the head of the tech mods, and Kate is also on the tech mod team, but specifically only for Minecraft.
Which I also don't understand.
Which I also don't
So
understand.
it's a fucking good job she's here.
It absolutely is.
Because
So
I'd also be drowning.
we true. We always have this joke in the Discord of like, who has the brain cell?
Yeah,
we
where is
collectively share one brain cell
Because you've got to
between
pass it
all of
back
us.
because I need it.
And Kate obviously had the brain cell when
Oh,
doing this.
The other day, right, we have been like, yeah, we'll put the mod pack in. We'll put the mod pack in for things for like quality of life changes for Minecraft.
Yeah.
And me and Margaret don't do
don't
that.
know how to do it.
Kate was Minecraft mod for like about 5 minutes.
yeah. I was
and
like, I've implemented it.
she was like, I've done this and I've done this and I've done this. And
We
I was
were like, how? Thank God.
thank God you're
Thank
here.
God. We picked the fucking right person, didn't
You
we?
know.
Thank God.
Some people are good at things and technology is just not one of them
Yeah,
for me.
and you know what? I'm good with technology.
I know you are.
But I am not good with like server things. It's so confusing to me. I don't understand it in the slightest.
That's
so,
why we've got them.
thank you,
So
Wolf.
thank you, Wolf.
And
Thank
thank
you,
you, Kate.
Kate.
And Kate, I love this. You have depicted Jack holding the brain cell
Yeah.
here.
The one brain cell.
The one brain cell. And
Which I don't have, by the way.
no, I don't
No.
think either of us have had it in
That's
a while.
like ideal scenario.
That is ideal.
Me
yeah,
having the brain cell.
I agree. But once again, you was a rat.
Yeah.
So my little ratlings.
Yeah.
My little ratlings.
They call me Jat.
They call you Jat. They call me Midrat.
Midrat and
Everyone
Jat.
has different rat names.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Ratty P.
Ratty P.
One of my
Our little rat gang, huh?
Yeah.
So that is
That's
the
fan art.
Fan art.
But also some other shit.
Yeah.
At the
Also,
same
yeah,
time.
yeah.
You know, nice and concise as
Nice
we like
and
to be.
always
Yeah.
concise, 100%. We didn't even make a note to talk about the mods. So.
Yeah, because we're fucking professional podcasters.
Yeah.
And we remember everything all the
Yeah, we
time.
do. Without zero brains.
Yeah. Big fat zero.
So the last thing we wanted to talk about before we get into the session recap
Yes.
is merch. So this is just a reminder.
You've all
that
seen it.
You've all
Both
seen
t-shirts.
it. Thank you so much for the really positive reception we've
Yeah.
had. We really appreciate
Yeah,
that.
we do.
We have managed to source a 5XL. Previously, it was just extra small to 4XL. We now have sourced a 5XL, which we're very, very happy to announce.
I think we mentioned that last time.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Well,
But just a reminder.
well, there you go. We have a 5XL. And now that we have all the samples in order, we kind of have the back end sorted out. We're still negotiating some prices. And then as soon as we get that up, the shop's going to be ready. And we are really hoping it's going to be the end of May.
We think we know about the price point.
Yeah,
About the
I
price
think
point.
we know now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
after a lot of back and forth, I think we know now.
Yeah.
So we won't say until we know for sure because I don't want to lie to you. But we're really
I
hoping.
wouldn't be lying, but I don't want to say a number and then
and then
have
it
to go back on it.
changed. Yeah, 100%. So we're really, really hoping that by the end of this month, May 2023, we're gonna.
This time next year.
Yeah, we're gonna have the shop ready to launch.
Yeah.
We will, of course, keep everyone updated through.
The ideal scenario is to launch it on the podcast.
Yeah.
The last one of this month. So
Yes.
the ideal would be the 29th.
Yeah, the ideal would be, but whether that's going to happen or not, we really
or not.
don't know, and we don't want to.
We're aiming for that date, but if it doesn't be that date, it doesn't matter.
Then, yeah, exactly. So thank you so much for, wanting it, which is unbelievable to us, and really liking what you see.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else we should go over?
You're gripping the table.
I'm gripping it for my dear life. Yeah, I know.
No.
No.
I think we're good. I think if we remember shit, we'll just keep going
as we always do.
So we got the session recap.
So the last session that you heard about was the session before this. Why am I explaining it this?
Those are the facts.
Chronological.
The rules are the rules.
And the facts are the facts.
Finish it off.
Thank you.
Correct.
So, we ended up we left Igvil's house in the swamp. We finally.
So that's what's happening in this session.
Yes, so this is what's happening in this session
so
that I'm talking about.
A couple of things happened before that, though.
Yes. We all got some cool abilities.
You all got a bunch of cool
abilities. We leveled up. We leveled up.
Margaret took a primal path.
I did.
Barbarian.
I picked Berserker Barbarian, but I picked the new revised 1D&D Berserker Barbarian.
Yes, the Unearthed Arcana Berserker Barbarian, which, not a lot of people allow Unearthed Arcana, and I get it, but I looked at it. It didn't seem massively unbalanced.
Yeah. You came to me and you said, this has just been released. Like, literally, I'm not kidding you, the day that we were about to play the session. And you said, this is an option if you want it.
If you want it, I'm happy for you to take it.
And I think I said this last time. I was weighing up between the old Berserker, Totem Barbarian, and the Zealot.
Mm-hmm.
And I always lean towards things like Berserker, right? Because I love the idea of being able to go into a transformative state. I think this is why I like my Moon Druid so much.
What?
Oh, sorry. Have I just spoiled something?
I didn't know you were a Moon Druid.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Fucking hell.
Oh.
You never told me. I'm your DM.
I'm sorry. Have I spoiled? I spoiled it for you. Listen, I know it's hard to hear.
I can't believe you do this. I can't believe you do this to all of us.
I'm sorry. Listen, it
Every
had to come out
squad
the
that's
wash.
listening right now.
It had to come out the wash at some point.
So you are a what?
I'm a Moon Druid.
A Moon Druid.
I'm a Moon Druid.
Interesting.
And I'm sorry if that's a shock. I'll do a notes-app apology.
You can
put a grey hoodie on.
Put a grey hoodie on.
Yeah. I'm a Moon Druid, and I think that's why I like the Moon Druid so much.
Yeah,
because
and, with this is just fucking D&D though, isn't it? It's you can play a Moon Druid 400 million different ways.
Yeah, totally.
But you wanted to have the Moon Druid be it's you fighting with the animalistic side of you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And it's when you go into wild shape or animal shape or whatever it is, you fight against the urge to never come back.
Yeah, totally. Every time.
Yeah.
And I like that. And you know what? That pairs really well with a Barbarian's Rage. And then that pairs really well with the idea of going fucking berserk.
Yeah.
And exerting everything you have. But, I'm if you don't know, the 5e edition of Berserker Barbarian is very punishing.
Yeah,
and
it is.
It was the first character I ever played. And basically, you can go into a frenzy stance when you rage.
Yeah, so you rage first and then you frenzy.
Yeah, and
afterwards.
I think you only get a maximum of 2.
Yeah.
At least to the level that we got to. So I could be completely wrong in saying that, but when you do frenzy,
I don't think there's actually. Is there a cap on frenzy, or is it just the status gets worse?
The status gets worse. So when you go into a frenzied rage, you get a point of exhaustion after you exit
finished.
it.
Yeah.
Frenzied rage is great. You get an extra attack.
Just fucking sick.
I think do you get some buffs to damage or something like that? I can't quite remember.
No, I don't know actually.
I can't. It was so long ago. I can't remember.
But yeah, the whole problem is it's your subclass feature also comes with a negative
well, this is
downside.
what I said, and this is what I said kind of for Reyla. I love the idea of being able to, if something's going wrong or if it's an important fight, being able to clutch up and do extra damage, be extra tanky. But the fact that my subclass also comes with a negative, like I have to suffer for my subclasses.
Yeah.
Feature.
It's the main feature of.
Yeah, it is. It's the only feature really of the that
especially
people go
at the
for.
beginning.
Yeah, and it's punishing. And 5e exhaustion rules is
rough.
Literally like the first level of exhaustion. You have like
disadvantage on all skill checks.
On all skill checks, and the second level is your speed is halved. The third level is you have disadvantage on all attacks.
And then
fourth level is you can't move. Fifth level you die.
No, I think is it fifth or sixth?
I think it's sixth level you die.
Yeah.
But you could never stack more. I had to never stack more than 2 points of exhaustion at any point.
Rules is written. You can only get rid of 1 point of exhaustion per long rest.
Which is how we played it.
If you have 2 points of exhaustion, it's going to take you 2 days to get rid of it.
Which is hell.
Yeah.
Which is, especially on like a dungeon crawl, hell.
Yeah.
It was so hard to...
So I did come to Margaret and I said, I will allow you to go berserker and change it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's too punishing.
Yes.
I think you should be able to just like frenzy a number of times equal to like your proficiency bonus a day or something like that with no side effects, or just have a free one before there's any side effects, so you could at least go frenzy twice, sleep it off, and then you're done.
Yeah.
So which is pretty good, but you still weren't sold.
No, I wasn't sold.
And then this came about.
So the revised Berserker D&D rules are there's no exhaustion
at all.
No exhaustion, and don't get me wrong, the new 1 D&D exhaustion rules are so much better. Like so much less punishing. And there's no exhaustion.
No.
Basically, when you go into a rage, you can choose to go into a frenzied state.
Don't even need to do that.
And
you just rage.
You just rage. I think. Do you have you?
So the whole point of it is you rage.
Yeah.
And then when you reckless attack, which a lot of barbarians do all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the time.
The first attack that hits, you get an extra 2d6 damage.
Then it scales up based on
the number. So it's a number of d6s equal to
your rage damage amount.
Damage dice. So obviously your rage is currently 2.
Yeah.
So you get 2d6.
Yeah.
So every single time on your turn you choose to recklessly attack, if the attack hits, for the first attack you get an extra 2d6.
Yeah.
Which just feels real good.
Feels real good. And Reyla's attack, she does it in this order. She does her claw attack and then she does a bite attack. Claw attack is 2d6. So that's going to be 4d6.
4d6, and if you crit.
Yeah. Which
8d6.
Which I did.
And if you're attacking recklessly, you have more chance
advantage,
to crit.
Exactly. Well, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And I crit.
And she's got a magic item where she can pump extra d6s
I can pump another 3d6 damage in if I want to, and I can either apply it as bleed damage the next time around, or heal myself instantly with it. And I ended up rolling 14d6.
14d6 damage.
Which was really nice.
Yeah. She hit the creature for about 68 points of damage.
I don't know.
And the monster had 68 points. Oh. So no matter what, they were just like little hellhounds, but they were like frost variants of hellhounds.
Yeah.
And you no matter the health. What?
Sorry, your voice bounced like off the TV, and it bounced like into this ear particularly. That
Weird.
Sounded so. When you go in a tunnel.
Yeah.
It sounded like I was in a tunnel.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
So yeah, no matter what health it was on, he would have killed it one shot.
Yeah, well,
it feels really good.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it did feel really good. So yeah, I know I said it last time. I tell you what I decided. The new revised Berserker.
Yeah, you got a couple of nice. Do you want to tell everyone about the new abilities you got?
We all got some new abilities.
Yeah,
every single one of us. Jack.
So for me, I get making sure everyone's got like a +1 weapon or a +2 weapon or a +3 weapon or whatever like that. I get bogged down with that shit.
Yeah.
Because I want to try and keep everybody on the same level.
Yeah.
So I don't tend to do like pluses because then also I just don't make the enemy's armor class reflect that, so then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I just like to give my squad, like as they play, I find out their play style. I find out what maybe they lack or what they wish they could bring to the group. Yeah. And then I give that to them as extra abilities.
Yeah, you're very good for being able to see exactly what people love. And you're really good at being able to judge what people want. I think you're very, very good at doing that. So we all got some abilities, which all slap, by the way. They all slap. I can only speak about mine because I can only really remember mine.
I can remember all of them, but that would take quite a while.
So I got advantage on initiative rolls, which, man...
For the tank.
For the tank.
It's very important.
Is important.
To be going first or near to first.
Yes, totally. And I don't know what it is. I roll really bad initiative.
Yeah, you do.
And I did with Beloved, my previous barbarian, who also got advantage on initiative rolls.
So yeah, you from now on always have advantage on initiative rolls.
Yep. I can choose if I use my bonus action wild shape. I can also rage at the same time when I go into it.
So there's so if you bonus action wild shape, because the problem is with a barbarian is it takes 2 rounds to set up to get done.
Yeah.
So there's a chance when she wild shapes, she can choose to do it or not. She rolls a d20. If she lands on an even number, she gets to rage at the same time. If she lands on an odd number, she just has to use a bonus action.
Yeah, which is nice. It's a nice little bit of RNG.
There's a 50-50 chance that you're going to have your setup done.
Yeah, totally.
Which is nice.
Which is really nice. And that happened. That exact thing happened. I rolled a 16, I think.
Yeah, and you went into rage at the same time.
Went into rage, which is perfect. And, I can choose to do this as well, because there's a very few times now where I'm concentrating on a spell maybe that I need to keep up.
Yeah,
but
so
I mean,
I didn't want you to concentrate on a spell and then roll and be like, fuck, I'm enraged, so I'll drop the spell.
Yeah.
So you can choose to use it or not.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't lose concentration anyway. But it's like if I need to cast a spell before raging, I should have said really.
As soon as you go into rage, you'll drop concentration.
Do I?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of wild shape.
Yeah.
So,
going into wild shape's fine, but
what am I saying?
Right.
This is again when people find out I have never played a moon druid in my life.
There's a lot of rules.
Thanks, Jack.
Even to this day, there's a lot of rules,
Thanks,
and
Jack.
we still fuck them up all the time. It doesn't matter. It's only a game.
Thank you. And then the last thing I got was if any of my allies go down.
Not true, but carry on.
Oh no,
that's not the last thing you got.
Is that not the last thing? It's Jack.
Carry on.
You know what? We've been so busy the past few weeks. I apologized to you this morning, being like, I'm not retaining a lot of information about D&D right now.
But you live with me,
which is
at
unlike
any point
me, though.
You can just, I know
it's very unlike me to not retain this information.
Pick my brain about anything to do.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, one of the things I got was if any of my allies go down and there isn't a radius on it, if they go down full stop, I can, as my reaction, use half of my movement to move towards them.
It's like a protective feat.
Yeah.
Like you can instantly, doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity.
Yeah.
You get to move half of your movement towards them as a reaction.
Yeah, it's similar to like what the scout gets.
Yeah, but they can move away from
They can move away from them.
You just get to move towards an ally. Towards an ally.
Yeah.
Because it's a protective thing.
Yeah,
and then the last thing was...
Jack, I can't remember.
So, as a moon druid, you can use one of your spell slots to bonus action heal yourself.
Oh, yes.
Now,
oh my god, yes.
Just a little, because, all spells healing gets to add their wisdom modifier or their spellcasting modifier or whatever. So you can now add your wisdom modifier to the heals.
To my heal, which is great.
It's nice. It's more consistent.
And you know what? I feel like a lot of the things that you gave all of us, I feel like you really took the weight and the pressure off Abby to heal.
Yeah.
Because Abby is not a healer. Like,
no,
her class is not a healing class.
She picked Blood Cleric to not be the healer.
Yeah, and she pumps out damage when she actually does get to use those spells. But we've said it before. The problem of being like the healer is you are the healer. There is not really much else you can do apart from heal people, because healing in D&D is not great.
It's not good.
Doesn't keep up enough.
I put a little house rule in as well, because on crits, when you roll a 1 or a 2, you get to re-roll them. So we've put in a house rule that if you heal, like in any capacity, like healing spell, potion, like your ability to heal yourself.
Yeah.
If you roll a 1 or a 2, I'll let you re-roll it, and then you got to keep the new roll.
Yeah, which is great. Again, another option to potentially be, again, our combats are very tough. There is a huge damage output from your enemies, and the healing that currently is in the game, it just can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
And it means that poor Abby can't do fuck all.
Apart from heal most of the time.
And then, healing takes a spell slot, so you run out of spell slots, and then
it was given, so I gave you a way to heal yourself. Yeah. And also Matthew, because he's a rogue, he likes to be quite far away.
Yeah.
He basically got the Fiendish Warlock thing.
Yeah, where if something's reduced to 0.
The thing is, it's if you reduce something to 0. In the revised 1D&D thing, they've changed it to this. So something dies or gets reduced to 0 hit points at all, an enemy.
Yeah.
Matthew gets to just automatically heal a small amount. And it's just like, if there's a lot of enemies, it's just something that keeps him fresh.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So they were really great additions.
Yeah.
Very, very, very happy. We had a combat in that session, which, because it was like a travel date, you all know, when you have a combat on a travel day, right, and you have all your resources,
and you know you're about to go to bed,
you're gonna fucking slap the things in front of you.
You just turbo
You're
nuke
gonna
it.
absolutely
You just
destroy 'em.
unleash all of the bits.
Absolutely destroy him, and that's what happened, and it felt really good.
Yeah, it was basically a combat, so everyone could like
Test out their new stuff.
use their new shit.
Yeah, which we did,
Which
and we
everyone
all
did. Apart from Josh, because I gave him the new 1D&D
Oh yeah.
cantrip. I made it a little bit better though, because the one in 1D&D is a little bit underpowered. But he tried to cast it 3 times and rolled 3 natural ones.
3 natural ones in a row. What's that about?
Who a man.
What is that about? So yeah, it was a great session. To be honest, that's kind of like the main things that had happened.
Yeah.
There was like some role play.
There was a lot of role play.
There was a lot of role play. I think we got through maybe 5% of what you planned.
I've noticed that when my group get to travel, that's like their downtime. That's when they get to like have conversations and do a lot of role play, and they're trying to make Priestess, Abby's character, a little gift.
Yeah, because she's been going through it. So
and they try to keep it secret, and they're not doing a very good job.
We're not very good at keeping things secret. So, if you haven't heard, in one of the last updates, basically Priestess, she's a vampire, and the vampire who turned her is basically like our mortal enemy. We did some bad things to him. He did some bad stuff to us. And he came back. He was waiting for her in her hometown. We went back to her hometown in front of Abby. He turned her parents. Well, she turned them. He forced her to turn her parents, and it was a whole thing. It was absolutely tragic. As we were leaving, because it was at her parents' jewelry shop that Priestess used to work in.
That was her jewelry
shop. As Reyla was leaving, she just swiped something. She just swiped like a bracelet.
Because they had to get out of Dodge pretty fast.
Yeah, for like the right time to give it to her.
So they're all trying to make little charms.
We're all trying to make charms.
Yeah.
To put on this bracelet.
And I'm more than happy, even though they're not at the tool proficiency, to let them roll. The fucking rolls.
Oh my god, the rolls
have not been good.
So bad.
So it's taken them a little while, but I think they're about finished.
Yeah. And Reyla, obviously, having like a really close relationship with Priestess, wanted to get hers done ASAP, so she did. And then Igneous and Meta, at the same time, decided they were going to do it. So Reyla had to distract Priestess, which didn't work.
Not at all.
And it was, you know what? It was just...
it was just a delightful mess.
It was just total debauchery, as it always ends up in, and it was very funny.
Yeah,
we're gonna give her the bracelet. Hopefully, next session.
And then the only other really big thing that happened was there was a you didn't realize it. You went to Jotunheim, into the frozen wastelands, and you're on your way. And there was like a bluish aurora borealis type thing in the sky.
Yeah, there was. It was a really nice moment actually.
And it turns out you don't really know what it is at the minute.
Yeah, like it was like the aurora borealis. And there was like wisps, which were like, we learnt were like spirits of the giants that had died in that area. But because to give you some lore, Midgard used to be run by giants. It used to be the world of giants.
Yeah, it didn't used to be run by giants. They were just the first
race.
When the gods created humankind of any kind, they created giants first.
Yeah, and then the giants were told by Odin, look, it's time for human.
It's time for the next rollout of humanity.
Yeah. Take my word on this. We're going to put you elsewhere, and when it's time for you to come back, you can come back. They left. Some of them ended up revolting against it. They went against Hrungnir, who was the
giant that led them.
The giant
Odin's
that led them.
Trusted giant.
Yeah, he was given the spark of potential, which I'm sure you've heard us mention before. And Hrungnir, we learnt, as these giants were revolting, they were like, we're going to go back to Midgard and we're going to take back our home by force. Hrungnir, I'm going to get upset talking about it.
Okay. He collapsed. So basically, in Jotunheim, there's something called permafrost.
Yes.
And basically, they'd managed to push the permafrost back and keep it behind a dam. And as they all turned and began to try and walk back to Midgard, Hrungnir didn't really know what to do, but he promised Odin that I will keep them here until the time's right. He broke the dam. The permafrost crashed over the whole of Muspelheim, which is what the city's called, and
frozen one. So they're all frozen there in time. He kind of did the ultimate sacrifice, really, and don't know why this upsets me so much. Igvilf is Hrungnir's daughter.
Yeah.
So, I think we got quite close to Igvilf in the time that we spent with her. And we learned about her father, who honestly sounds like an honourable man, I would say.
It's tough, isn't it? Because it's like, in those moments, you've said you're going to do something.
Yeah.
You were the person that led them there.
Yeah.
You created the society with the spark of potential.
Yeah.
You created a new place for them to live. Yes, it wasn't perfect. No, it probably wasn't as good as they were before. But they were promised they were going to come back.
Yeah.
It was just going on too long.
Too long.
So some people, there's one giant called Eero,
Yeah.
who was the one who led the revolt.
Yeah.
And Hrungnir tried his best to talk them out of it, but it was too far gone.
Hrungnir, he had a daughter.
He told her to run.
He told her to run, and he sacrificed himself, and now the mountains of Jotunheim are mountains because they're built on the bodies of the giants who died and who were killed trying to come over and who have now been permanently frozen in time. And I don't know why. That just really gets to me. That the idea that these people, it was their land and then they were told.
That's the thing, isn't it? Because it's like, was it right?
Was it right?
Was Odin right to tell them to leave? Was Hrungnir right to? Was Eero right to try and take it back by force? It's like probably not a single one of them is
wrong
without fault.
Yeah, but no one's wrong.
But also, you can also see the argument of all the sides.
Totally. And I think Reyla, she's finding out a lot about herself as she goes. She realized that she is not giant kin, but it's in her.
Yeah.
She doesn't fully know why yet, but when she wild shapes, she can read giant. Vendari, who she's supposed to be, is closely tied in with Skoll and Hati, who are the grandchildren of Odin.
I think if you think about it, you'll know why. In that moment.
Oh, no brain.
You do know why. You do know why.
No brain.
Because you are kin of Skoll and Hati. And Skoll and Hati are children of...
I'm kin of Skoll and Hati.
Yeah, Vendari is. You aren't. Vendari is.
Jack, is Vendari the fourth child of...
No.
No?
No.
Oh my god. Sorry, wow. Sorry.
Yeah, so who is Skoll and Hati's father?
Fenrir.
Fenrir is child of
Loki and Angerboda,
who are
children of Odin and Freya.
Yeah, but what is Angerboda?
A giant.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So where does that leave Reyla?
Reyla is a person. So that's the thing, isn't it? We haven't totally got to the end of that yet.
No.
But the reason why she can read giant is because she is a kin of Skoll and Hati.
Wow.
She is the chosen protector of Skoll and Hati. Vendari is. And Vendari was given to someone worthy.
Oh, right.
When the time was right and when the time was needed.
Right. Oh, that's interesting.
So, because Vendari would have been given to someone, it's not anyone, it was the person that needed to be right in the moment that it was needed.
Yeah.
Which we found out
for some reason was fucking Reyla.
For some reason it was Reyla.
Yeah.
Maybe
we haven't quite gotten into that.
Fully got that just yet.
Yeah. That's made me quite emotional thinking about that. You can tell how emotionally invested I get into these things, and especially now hearing that. When we went to the Aurora Borealis and we all looked up, and Hermeta is also he is part giant because forcefully so, because Igvilf, when she was under control of Angerboda, experimented on him, and I think Reyla has always had a sense of injustice for the giants, regardless of anything else. And there was a moment where she was still in wolf form, because she's always in wolf form. There was a wisp that came down, and she just put her nose up, and the wisp kind of passed over. And you described it as there's this sense of like a longing. And why is this upsetting me so much?
Because you very like when we do the campaign,
Mm.
like you very much like feel the emotions that your character feels.
I do.
And like you get very much into the story that I write. And I like to write stories with multiple sides because bad guys are people too. That's the issue. It's like,
and I don't think Reyla ever saw the giants as bad guys. I think from day one, Reyla was like, well, who the fuck are we to be able to take someone's home away from them, regardless of who said it first.
Yeah.
And in that moment, you kind of described it as like a mournful longing, and I think Reyla really felt that. I really feel that.
Yeah, it's like when you're a kid and you go to a sleepover for the first time.
Yeah.
And
yes.
You get a little frightened.
Yes.
And you want nothing more than to just go home.
home.
It's like you felt that like wash over you.
Yeah, and Reyla feels that more than anyone because her family's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Not dead.
They're safe.
They're safe, and she didn't know for the longest time why she wasn't allowed to go with her family. She knows now why now, but she still has that longing.
Yeah.
And especially with her sister, and I think she really felt that.
Yeah.
And I really felt that for her.
And and like there was two things that happened. Everyone sort of felt that sort of sorrow, that sort of like pit in your stomach when you like put your hand up and touch one of these wisps. But you also saw something else. You saw
we saw
like it was the question was, what does your character want more than anything else in the world?
Yeah, and you asked each of us that, and Reyla said
everyone who touched it
to see her family again.
Yeah, and then you also saw every conceivable way, every possible avenue, every potential of that happening.
Yeah,
all at once. You were sort of like awakened to the opportunities of, and that's what the spark of potential is about. So it's about like maybe being able to do something impossible.
Yeah,
and finding like all these different ways and potentials. It's like what's it called? That movie Limitless.
No.
Is it the one with Bradley Cooper?
Oh.
He basically it's a bit
is it where he unlocks like his full brain potential?
It's like
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
He takes the weird blue crystal thing or whatever it is.
Okay.
And then like his pupils like go large and he sort of just sees everything.
Yeah.
It's like having just like that true perspective of everything.
Yeah, and that's what it is. So we know we're close to finding the spark, which is important for all of us.
Yeah.
And to end the session recap, because I realize it's gone on for a while.
So long. We're nearly an hour in and we haven't done anything.
Well, to end that, there was also a moment where Igneous stood on a piece of ice that floated away, and Reyla panicked and tried to thorn whip him back, and she pulled him into the water and he nearly died.
Yeah, and he
afterwards he was like, I could have misty stepped back.
The water was so cold
that
his body just went into shock.
Yep.
And he made a Constitution saving throw, failed.
Yep.
And then began to sink.
Yep. So that was
Abby jumped in after him.
Yep.
And then she failed, and then she also began to sink.
Floating down to the bottom, and If you want to know how I work under pressure, that's how I pull my friends into water.
You work quickly.
I work quickly.
You worked very quickly. You were the first to react.
So yes, I hope you enjoyed that. You know what? There was actually a lot more in there than I thought it was. There was a lot of explaining about the subclass, and there was a lot.
Sorry, some fucking podcast.
True, I guess. So yeah. That's the session recap. That's everything. Sorry, I cried again. Why do I cry? I cry so.
You don't need to say sorry.
Oh, thank you.
You don't need to say sorry.
Thank you for letting me
It's your
cry.
podcast. It's your podcast, and you'll cry if you want to.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me cry and never judging me for it. I have a lot of feelings.
You do have a lot of feelings.
Oh my goodness! So an hour into this, we're actually going to talk about what the
reason you've come.
The reason you've come here. You've read the title. You can see we're doing advice submissions.
Advice submissions, baby.
So these are all submissions. Thank you so much to everyone who has sent in a submission, regardless of what it is. You fuel our podcast.
Yes, these are all submissions from our own subscribers.
Yes.
These aren't like taken from the internet or anything like that. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
For taking your time to send us them, and we hope we can help.
Indeed. So let's just get right into it.
Let's do it.
Let's get right into it an hour in. So, this has been sent in by MB, and he goes by he, him.
Okay, thank you, MB.
So, hello, I've been enjoying your podcast a lot, even if I don't comment, and have been thinking of characters while listening to your advice and other information in your videos. And the Discord has been a blast.
Oh,
Thank you, MB.
Cheers, MB.
Thank you.
You don't, like, people are always like, I'm going to join Discord, but I'm not really an active member. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
You
matter.
are welcome.
If you want to be there and participate as much as you want, do whatever you want. If you don't want to comment down below, I'm going to judge you a little bit. But
Right.
I'm joking. I'm not really. Just thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Just thank you for watching.
Thank you. Yeah.
I understand that, people just participate in different ways, whether
Totally.
you want to fully immerse yourself or just watch.
Have a little bit of a look.
The fact that you're watching the video is
more than enough.
Thank you.
So thank you. So I know you've talked about over-sexualizing other players' characters, but what if I enjoy being the one sexualized? If the campaign allows it, I enjoy being desired in the fantasy world as I put on a new body that isn't this useless human sack. I feel that. If in session 0, is it okay if it is it if in session 0, if it is okayed for 18 plus is allowed, am I allowed to sexualize my own character? I've been considering a Tabaxi Bard/Monk multiclass that is flavored with dancer fighting and casting style, and a backstory of being an escort. I am not physically desirable in real life, so I enjoy playing a character that I would find hot. Unless I am good friends with other people I play with, I refuse any play character romance to avoid making anyone uncomfortable. Is it wrong to sexualize myself and my own characters as I enjoy them and the table allows it? Or is there a better way to handle it? So I'm really sorry, MB, firstly, that, you feel like you're not physically desirable in real life. I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that because, fucking... Just,
we've all been there.
We've all been there, and society does that to you, unfortunately.
100%. That's society's fault, not yours.
Body ideals and
100%,
things like that. It's
100%.
like, you should be able to be comfortable in your own skin.
Totally.
Sometimes life just makes you not feel that way.
Totally.
Which fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does. It sucks.
It sucks. It does.
I understand the wanting to, shed your skin and play someone else.
Yeah, I think you very much relate to that.
I do. I really do. And, we wanted to include this one specifically because we do talk a lot about, obviously, players against their will being sexualized.
Yeah.
And I think that is the difference, right?
I think there is a difference here between you being sexualized against your will and sexualizing yourself.
Yes.
It's your sexuality.
Yeah.
To me, you should own that.
Yeah.
And you should, be sexy if you want to be sexy.
Mm-hmm.
You should not be sexy if you don't want to be sexy. If it's up to you, I don't see a problem with it. The only thing is, and you did say it there, you need to be very clear about, and this isn't to do with you, this is more about, you need to be very clear with what you're comfortable with.
Totally.
For 2 reasons.
Yep.
To make sure everybody else is comfortable with the sort of themes of sexuality that you want to explore.
Yep.
And also, so nobody can, oh, you're cool with sexuality? Oh, cool. I know what that means.
Yeah, totally. And, vice versa. So you can't cross a line with other people as well.
Yeah.
I think we've had this discussion in the last episode, I think. If you are playing at an 18 plus table and there has been safety tools set up and the lines are very, very clear, everyone is comfortable with it. You understand what everyone is comfortable with and what they're not. And if it needs to stop, it can stop.
It can stop, yeah. That's a very clear line that needs to be drawn.
Yes, of course. We're all adults. If we're all consenting adults, yes, of course. But I would say if there's even just one person who is even a little bit uncomfortable, I would suggest not doing it.
I agree. And also, like I said there, but I don't think I made the point very clear. If you've got a DM that you aren't you don't know very well or something like that, and you say oh yeah, I'm happy to be sexualized. I think they need to be very, very understanding of what you mean by that.
Yes, totally.
You need to express I'm happy to be sexualized, but this is where it doesn't go.
You did make that clear. Yeah. You did explain that well. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Margaret's right. I think everyone needs to be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
If everyone's comfortable with it and there's safety tools in case it goes a little too far.
I think that's the most important thing.
I think 100%. Own your sexuality.
Yeah, well, no, 100%. And
live for it.
You have to. You have to make it so clear in session 0 before anything starts. You can't just suddenly put it in without knowing. You can't put it in you simply can't without everyone okaying it and everyone being uncomfortable with it. And I know that sounds like on the surface level that's a lot of discussions that have to happen. It's not.
It's not. It's
not.
It probably can be done in about 10 or 15 minutes.
100%.
And be very, very clear.
Yeah, and be willing to, and it sounds like MB you are, but be willing if people say to stop, you stop. And same, people respect where to stop. You know, I don't think that, well, I don't know, but you know, is it going to be a campaign where it's always fucking sex all the time?
Flirty sexness? Probably
not, right? Yeah. It's probably just themes here and there.
Yeah, themes here and there. It's like in our campaign, there is, you know, you and Abby are very, very clear that you want to be sexy and you want to be hot, and it's, you know, and stuff like that. Like, I personally, as a dungeon master, have no desire to have sexual themes in the game. Yeah, like I never have and never will. Yeah. But you know, if you want to be sexy, go for it. And if you want to flirt with some NPCs, I will reciprocate if that's what you want. Yeah. But you know, I would never initiate that because that's just not why I play the game. Yeah. And you know, I think there is a distinction between being sexy and being sexual. Correct. Because if you want to just be sexy and hot, fucking go for it. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. If like, you know, and I'm not sure now, kind of on reflection, if I maybe... I've read this wrong, there was mention of they're an escort. Right, okay, so, right. You know, yeah. That is, you know, that is definitely... Yeah, so there will maybe sexual thing. But it's like, because if you're happy with like just the flirtatious banter in the tavern, and then it's like, oh, okay, we go back to the room with this person who I am escorting. Yeah. Where do we leave it? Because most people would just be like, fade to black. And if all you wanted was the sexy roleplay beforehand, I feel like quite a lot of tables will be happy with that. But do find out first. Find out first and find out where the line is drawn. 100%. I imagine it'll be the fade to black. Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. 100%. So, yeah. And there is a huge distinction between being hot and being sexual, and don't let anyone blur those lines for you, because just because you're sexy doesn't mean that you have to be sexualized. 100%. Yeah. Just because, you know, like, this is the thing. It's like, own your sexiness. Totally. It's yours. Totally. Yeah. Fucking, like, thrive and live as much as you want as the sexy. It's a fantasy game. You be as sexy and as hot as you want. Yeah. But yeah, if you do want to make the distinction about taking that like a step further and just, and like, you know, you say here, like, having like character romance. You know, double check first. Because I think a lot of tables are comfortable with character romance. Yeah. Like, we have character romances at our table. Yeah, we do. You know, people are comfortable with that. Yeah. But they only get initiated by players. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know, if you want a relationship with a NPC, you know, you will be the one that comes to me and be like, I would like to call this NPC. Exactly. And then I'm like, okay. Exactly. And you know, if you do it between yourselves, that's between you two. And you just got to make sure that both of you are comfortable. That's it. It's always being aware. And as soon as someone says no, that's where you stop it. Yeah, that's where you stop it. You know, I get the feeling, MB, based on how you worded that. You seem pretty open to everyone else's feelings. Yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't have put in a submission about it. True. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, thank you, MB. It's about communication. It is about communication, 100%, and respecting people. If you go into it with that open mindset and set those safety tools and set those boundaries, I don't think there's many ways you can go wrong. Yeah. And that's what a safety tool is there for. 100%. Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, you do it. Yep. Go for it. Agreed. Okay, so number 2. Number 2. This has been sent in by Crown, and Crown goes by she, her. Hey, Crown. Hello, Crown. We've been playing a little bit of Valheim with you, and it's been wonderful. Yes. So, hi, Jack and Margaret. I want to start by saying thank you for the podcast and the Discord server. It's been a real joy to have met all the amazing squad blasters on there and be part of such a supportive community. We love to hear that. Yeah. We're so happy to have you, Crown. Thank you. That's what it's there for, baby. So I DM for a group of my very dear friends, and for the most part, it's all going really well. My preference is to homebrew any world we play in, whether it's our main campaign or any other one-shots we might do. And I've communicated with my players that I'm very open to collaborate with them to create places and NPCs related to their backstories. Wonderful. That's awesome. That's you. Why you do that? Yeah. I've never ran a module, so I don't know if I prefer it. So true. However, one of my players seems to have taken this to mean something different than I intended. They will write out their backstory without ever communicating with me throughout the process and only sharing with me when I specifically ask, usually after I was surprised by some in-game info dump. I want to make it clear that they aren't a horrible player, and most of their ideas are things that I can do and absolutely work in.
But because they've never communicated with me what they're working on, I often start working as the DM to fill the gaps in. And as you can imagine, sometimes we don't go in the same direction, and I get blindsided by an in-session information drop and the multiple-page document I now have to take the time to go over to see what works within my world or what I had already come up with for them. It's happened more than once and in different campaigns and one-shots, even after I've told my whole table to make sure to check in with me when they work on their backstories to avoid them getting too excited over ideas that might just not work with my world building or might not be realistic for characters of their level, which is another issue I tend to run into with them. I've never really had this issue with my other players, and I very rarely say no to backstory ideas when asked, and can bounce ideas back and forth to find the perfect fit for the campaign. But the combination of them not communicating, assuming whatever they wrote is good with me, and then having to pore over detailed backstories after the fact is really getting to me and making me dread receiving any backstory from them. My problem is, I know I can be a little overzealous sometimes. Shout out to my vibe-specific playlists, including 24 D&D ones and overly curated Pinterest boards. We've all been there, Crown, which makes it hard for me to be objective about this issue. Am I being unreasonable for having such a strong reaction? Am I being too controlling of my characters' backstories and too possessive over my world building? I'd really appreciate your thoughts and any advice on how to deal with this.
No, you're not.
No. First of all, Crown, no, you're not. And to be honest, I don't even think, even based on what you've said here, you're saying, like, am I having a strong reaction? I don't think you're having a strong reaction, first of all.
I don't think you're having a strong reaction at all.
Yeah.
Like, out there are secrets. You might want to be with one of those players who just blurts it all out straight away.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to be a player who tells everybody everything before the session even starts.
Yeah.
Abby,
Yeah.
for instance. She gets very excited and she likes to share things about her character.
Which I love.
On the other side of the spectrum, Matthew and Josh.
Yeah,
they can
don't
be
give anything away.
Very secretive.
Yes.
But the thing is, you can't be secretive
With
with
your
Dungeon
DM,
Master.
you can't. Yeah.
Your Dungeon Master needs to know.
Yeah.
I would say everything about your character.
Your DM has to know everything about your character.
Every single thing.
And
every part of your backstory.
Yeah. Where you're from,
your family.
your
anything,
relationships.
Anything that you think of, they need to know.
I agree.
It doesn't mean they need to know. Like, you need to think of your family if that's something you don't want to explore.
No. Yeah. Of
but
course.
It's the things that you write down.
Yeah.
The Dungeon Master needs to know.
Needs to know because, to be honest, Crown, you said it perfectly. It creates this dynamic where you're like, right, I'm going to fill the gaps in. You fill the gaps in according to the information you have.
Yeah.
But then the players sat there going, oh, God, I can't wait for this to happen.
Yeah. And then they fill the gaps in, and that wasn't the gaps that you filled in.
And then it's just a mess. That sounds like that's just a mess.
You're basically telling two different stories about the same person.
You're both going to get frustrated, which I think you probably both are,
like,
right?
The thing is, as a player, like, yeah, you have a story to tell and you have a story to follow.
Yes.
And you follow and you play out the story that the Dungeon Master writes for you.
Yeah.
That's what the Dungeon Master is. The Dungeon Master is basically a storyteller.
Yes.
Who plays all of the enemies.
Yes.
So, when you give them your backstory, they write what's going to happen with that. I always say, write the beginning. Don't write the beginning, the middle, and the end, because the whole point is the story takes place at the table.
Which it sounds like maybe, Crown, you have had issues with saying, my characters, they tend to plan for things that are way above the level they're at.
Yeah.
Which I do think is kind of a common thing.
Imagine if somebody came and they're like, yeah, I want to go back to my hometown, which is where we're going next session, right, Crown? Well, there's an ancient red dragon there that's killed the entire thing.
So I can't wait to kill this dragon.
And you're like, you guys are level 3.
Yeah.
And we're going there next session, and you're telling me there's an ancient red dragon there?
And regardless of what level you are, like, your DM has to plan for these things. Crown, you are not.
No.
You are 100% in your right to be feeling whatever you're feeling about this, because your player has to tell you.
Your player also has to. It's like, I think there's an element of, like, control here.
Totally.
Like, they do need to understand that they need to surrender
their control,
a bit of control to you,
which can be hard.
Which can be hard for some people,
especially because people's characters, they are an extension of themselves in ways. And people care dearly for their character. I do. I care dearly for my characters.
But I care dearly for your characters.
Exactly.
And I write these backstories and stuff for that reason.
And I'm sure you care for your players' characters too, Crown. So, first of all, to me, it's a non-issue that you think that this is weird, because it is. This is.
Players tell you their backstories.
That's the whole point.
They don't write. To me, this is just the way I play. And I don't know how like involved you want your players in their backstories.
Mm-hmm.
They give me what they have at the beginning of the campaign.
Yeah.
They say, this is my character. This is my story so far. There you go.
Yeah.
I say, is there themes?
Yeah.
Is there themes you want?
Yeah.
Is there like some things that you want to do along the way?
Yeah.
And I'll try and put them in.
Your arm stretched just so far across the table there. Oh my God.
So you're, like, get the themes and stuff like that, but you're the one that writes it.
Totally. So, how do you go about dealing with this? I
think you just go to them.
Totally.
And be honest.
And you know what? It doesn't, once again, we say this every single time. It doesn't have to be this confrontational, awkward thing.
No.
It's probably going to be a bit awkward, let's be honest. You could just go to them and be like, right, let's sit down together. Let's have a great time. You tell me everything.
You tell me everything.
And
because
let's work out together.
And from this point, everything that you tell me,
yeah,
I'm going to write the rest of the story for you.
And I'm going to make sure I'm going to listen to you. You tell me what you want, and we're going to work together to give you an experience that you're going to enjoy.
And I don't know, it's up to you, Crown. Like, if they cannot surrender the control of the story, then you say to them, if you can't give it up, you need to tell me every single time you write some more.
Yeah.
Because I need to know what you've written.
To be honest, Crown, if they're refusing to do it,
well, it depends if Crown's comfortable with it, doesn't it?
True. It depends you're right. It depends what you're comfortable with, Crown. If it were me, I would need it. I could not have anything held back from me as the DM, because I'm the same as you. I have the curated playlist. I have the Pinterest. I had. I would need to know, and I think you would need to know.
The reason I DM is to tell a story.
Yeah.
And if you know the fucking story and you're the one writing it, I wouldn't want to DM for you.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
You're basically taking the one thing that like I really enjoy and doing it for me.
Yeah.
So
totally.
So
I think, Crown, you have to make it clear to them that you need to know. Doesn't have to be a confrontational thing. You can just say,
you need to just tell them that. Tell me everything that you've got so far.
Yeah.
And then from this point, I'm writing the story.
Yeah, please, like...
You would just enjoy the ride.
Yeah,
and be surprised by what I have done for you.
You take a sit back and, like, I would even say, like, trust me.
Yeah, trust
me, because...
You've obviously got fantastic intentions and you want these things because you want to write them for the players.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. You need to talk to this person.
It just needs to be a conversation.
Yeah.
And, like, but I think you need to say, like, going forward, like, I'm writing it.
Yeah,
if
make
that's
it
what you
very
want,
clear.
Or if you are happy for them to write it, if you write any more, I need to know.
As and when.
It's straight away.
As and when.
Yeah.
Like, and just say, if you ever want me to touch on anything, tell me. And I
tell
can
me
try.
the themes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they're scared of giving it to you because they maybe don't think you're going to do a good enough job or something like that. Because, that is a real thing from players.
You could even just ask them why. You could just say, like, is there a reason why, like, you're preferring to keep things secret from me?
Yeah.
That very well could end up in, an honest conversation about what they're feeling, which, listen, it's hard at the time. I know that nothing bad comes from two people honestly talking and telling each other how they feel.
But yeah, I think, again, like, if they are maybe struggling to surrender control, if you are like, tell me the themes, tell me where you want the story to go, everything like that. So you do have a say in it, but you don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Yes.
So there's surprise for you because surprises are good.
Totally. I hope that helps, Crown.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that sounds like a tricky situation.
That's a tough
truly.
One. That is a tough one. I've never really personally experienced that.
No. And it's different though, isn't it, with players?
Yeah.
Like, there's been moments where I've been frustrated as a player when someone's been too secretive, but I realize that that's probably me projecting and me probably potentially being too, not controlling, but overbearing maybe.
Yeah, I think there is a moment where it is, I think when you sit down at the table, I think it should be very clear, sort of like class.
Yes.
And stuff like that.
Yes.
I think that's probably something that I will put in place for next campaign is like when we come to the table after the first session, we should probably all know what each other are playing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. And there's been moments again when I've played, I've held too much back.
Yeah.
I've held way too much back and I've regretted it.
Yeah. I like to tell my story.
Yeah, I do now as well.
I think when
and
we
now
did the first campaign,
now I know how to.
I was the only person who wrote a backstory.
Yeah, I think you were.
I think I was.
Yeah, I think you were. I think you genuinely were. Yeah. Okay, so
number 03, baby.
Thank you, Crown. And
thanks, Crown.
Number 03. So
number 03.
This has been sent in by Anonymous, and he goes by he, him. Thank you,
Thank you
Anonymous.
very much.
So, howdy, guys. Bit of a weird one, and it might get long.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Howdy doody.
Just watched episode 27, and a couple of excerpts from it resurfaced some wounds I had in my current campaign and made me realize a couple of things and dwell on some old stuff. To preface this, we are best friends. I couldn't ask for better people in my life. This is mostly a D&D problem, but it could surface into real-life problems. I don't know if I'm seeking advice or just venting, but if you do have any advice to offer, I'll really try to implement it.
We'll do our best.
We'll do our best, Anonymous. So I'm in a pickle. Oh, I love that saying.
I'm in a pickle.
I'm in a pickle, bread and butter pickle.
I'm in a bit of a dill pickle.
Bit of a dill pickle. Bit of a
Bread and butter pickle.
What's the
Bit
of a pickle kit? I did. I love my campaign, love my party members, and love my DM. There's just some underlying issues at hand that always put people in a bad mood, and I believe as time has gone on, we're meeting up for D&D just simply to meet up for D&D. I don't see anyone with a spark anymore. We haven't messaged each other in our players-only group chat in months, and it's gotten to a point where I don't think I want to play in this campaign anymore, but I know it would dismantle the entire campaign. Now for context. So our current campaign started 4 years ago in a party of 5 and the DM.
4 years ago.
Session 0 happened. I read that as Dr. Session 0. Why did
Dr.
I
Session
read it
0?
like that?
Is that my nickname?
Dr. Session 0.
Dr. Session 0.
Dr. JAT ready to be
Daddy, Dr. Session 0.
Session 0 happened.
Session 0, Doctor.
And among other rules, the DM... I keep reading DM as Doctor.
Just say it.
The Doctor stated... We will not play if someone doesn't show up.
Okay.
Which sounds fair. Their reasoning is that they don't want a player to miss content, they don't want to roleplay something to the player wouldn't do, they would die, etc. And of course, it incentivizes people to come to the table as often as possible.
Fair enough, yeah, I get that.
We started off playing pretty often, with the occasional week we would miss because someone was sick, and then of course because of, they called it the global panini.
The global panini.
The global panini. But what's really been the issue is that one of the players would miss sessions more than just once in a while. First it's 1 week, then 2, then 3, then this person is actually available, but then someone else is busy, and then the group chat is quiet for a month until someone asks, hey, can we play D&D again?
Sucks.
It's not so much of a pattern, but this has happened often enough that a cheeky joke along the lines of, see you in 2 months, is said whenever a session ends. Once in a while, whenever this player has backed out of a session, at least one of us has been mad at one of the two people, the person backing out or the DM for implementing the rule, as we've all said to the DM whenever we complained, can we just play? The player said it's fine if we play without them, to which the DM has always simply said, no, this is the rule I have in place. So about a year ago, the stars aligned, all the players woke up with the same idea in mind, ask the DM to reconsider this rule. None of us spoke about this beforehand, but one at a time throughout the day, someone asked the DM in some fashion to reconsider the rule. I believe I was the first one. I came at them with bullet points, Excel spreadsheets, receipts, you name it. Me. Jokes aside, I was respectful, and I actually felt like I was getting somewhere because we were actually having a full-blown conversation about it, rather than the negative response we were used to. A couple of hours go by, and player 2 randomly asks the DM, would it be so bad if we played without everyone at the table? I don't remember the DM's direct response to that, but in the middle of them responding to player 2, the DM received a text from player 3 and player 4 asking if it's okay that the next session we play without them as something has come up. We promised no one had spoken about this behind his back, but the DM felt overwhelmed and ultimately said something along the lines of confirming that the rule is in place and it will not be budged. This led to multiple grumbles, but we all kept playing as infrequent as scheduling would allow us to play. So fast forward to today. We still don't play very often, and it remains an issue of someone being unavailable. Watching the podcast, you guys had a few offhand comments that hit different and really made me step back and think. A milestone happened in our campaign that was significant for a couple of players. It can be traced back to a week ago in-game. The event that happened over a year ago in real time. It took a year for a week to pass in our campaign due to constant rescheduling. I know I signed up for a full campaign, but the players, myself included, aren't too keen at the idea of hitting level 20 10 years from now. I just feel at a loss. Oh, Anonymous. Oh, I'm sorry. That man,
you are a group.
Yeah.
Not a group led by one person.
Yes, regardless of who that person
regardless,
is.
Doesn't matter if they're the DM. Like,
Yeah.
I have rules that I want to implement into the game.
Listen, we don't talk about that.
And I bring it to the group. Like, I brought a rule to the group not long ago. I was like, I want to introduce Pathfinder death saves.
Yes.
Where you get an extra death save, but basically, I won't fucking bother with it. I won't bother with it. And I brought it to the group, and the group said no. I don't get to just be like, well, yeah, because I'm the DM.
Yeah.
That's not the way it works.
Yeah.
We're a group.
Yeah.
We play together. It's a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
So if everyone apart from the DM wants to change the rule gets changed.
Yeah, I fully agree. Like, and this, I would say that there probably is some Is there?
No.
No, I guess there isn't.
Every single player around the table is like, we don't play frequently enough because
Yeah.
our schedules clash. We
Yeah.
would like, if there's one player missing,
Yeah.
we should still play. If there's two players missing, then we call the session.
Yes.
There you go. There's the rule altered,
Yes.
but it's not
still in
completely-
place,
yeah.
but like,
That's what we do.
like,
Josh wasn't well a few weeks ago. We still played.
Granted.
But if maybe it wasn't the best idea. If two players can't make it, we just don't play.
Yeah, because we couldn't.
Yeah.
Like man, there is nothing, and I'm trying to put my shoes in your place. Put my feet in your shoes.
Yourself in your
put
shoes.
myself in your my nasty little feet in your shoes.
A nasty little pork chop feet.
Yeah, my little grippers. I'm trying to.
Margaret picks things up with her feet, by the way.
Jack, I do.
She's got like the monkey strength in the
I
feet.
do. I really
So
shot
there's times where I'm like, can you pass me that, Margaret?
and I'll just pass it
And
to
then
him with my
she'll start it
feet.
back. I'm like, no, not with your feet. Do with your hands. And she's like, oh, let me do it with my feet. And I'm like, go on.
Yeah.
Then.
There's times where
So
I
pick it up with her feet.
I make you hold my feet.
Yeah.
I'll make him put his fingers between my and hold my
And hold
feet. Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry, OP. Yeah, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, and I can think of how devastated I am if we have to call D&D off for any reason. Yeah. Imagine it happening consistently, mainly from one person as well. The kind of question I would ask is, does this person want to play D&D?
I don't know if it's a problem with that person.
Fair enough.
Personally.
Fair enough.
If the 4 players in the campaign, including that person,
well, yeah, that person
has come and said,
without
look,
me.
like, because the thing is, right, if you're happy for people to continue and not be there, right? I was going to say something I can't remember.
I don't know.
To me, like, if that person, they're basically sort of making everybody negatively feel towards that person.
Yeah.
When that person's sort of being like,
no, play without me.
Play without me.
Play
I
without
can't make
me.
it, and I don't want you to miss again.
Yeah, totally.
And the DM's like, no.
Yeah, totally. Like
this is all that dungeon master's problem.
And you know what? I do understand the whole, the stars aligned, you all message at the same time. I understand how that's overwhelming, right? But I can't see how you would not look at that and be like,
I don't even know if that matters.
Well, I don't know how you wouldn't look at that, right? And be like, they really want it changing.
Play. Like, you should be happy that everyone's so desperate to play in your game.
Well, exactly.
Like, the fact that everyone wants is like, I really want to play it. Like, a week goes by and you played for a year. Come on.
And it sounds like you've kind of hit a bit of a brick wall because, OP says, I think I was the first one in to have the conversation, and the conversation was going well, but then the wall got put up again when other people got involved. And I feel like at that point, the DM is only doing it because they feel maybe defensive.
Yeah, defensive.
Over it.
It's like a little bit spiteful.
Yeah, a little bit spiteful.
A little bit spiteful now. So I'm like, it's tough, isn't it? Because you don't want to be the ultimatum guy.
No.
You don't want to be the person who comes who's like, we got to change it. I have to leave.
But I also think you kind of owe it to yourself.
But I also think you sort of deserve it.
You owe it to yourself to be able to say, look, it has to change or I'm going.
Because I'm not enjoying myself anymore.
Say it with us. No D&D is better than bad D&D.
Correct.
Like, this is obviously something you're upset about. It's stressing you out. You're thinking about it. Like, yes, you won't play D&D. Listen, it doesn't sound like you play D&D that much anymore now.
No.
Like,
it's a collaborative storytelling game with a bunch of collaborative people to get together and do it. You've got to collaborate. It's not one person who makes the rules. It's not one person who gets to say what happens and what doesn't.
Yeah,
it's a group effort.
It is. And a week, an in-game week in a year.
That's just not good enough.
That is slow.
It's, yeah.
And, you know, if people listening play like that, that's fine and you enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. If you're playing every week and that happens and you're just playing in like real time or something, whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know,
yeah.
You know, like the fact that I just don't get it. I just don't get where the resistance comes in when
me neither.
All the players have said, even the player that's the one that's missing,
saying, please play without me.
Please play without me.
Yeah, I agree.
At this point, your DM is literally doing it out of a little bit of spite, in my opinion. A little bit of like, well, no, it's what I say goes. It's like, it's not what you say goes.
I agree.
That's not the crack.
And OP, I think you need to get together with, you know, I know you say that this kind of happens, like, the stars just aligned and it happened. I think you actually need to get together with your whole group, everyone there. I know that sounds like that's going to be hellish to organize.
Apparently, we can't do that with D&D, so.
But you need to, all of you stand together and you need to say, this needs to fucking change.
Yeah.
Everyone's asked for it.
So why is it still not happening?
Why, yeah. Again, ask the question. Be a Brandon, be a Giga Chad about this and be like, can we ask what your intentions with this is?
Yeah.
Like, why are you
so reluctant to change
what's the reason?
rule?
Yeah. And, you know.
You might get to the bottom of it, you might not.
You might, yeah.
I hope you do.
I hope you do.
Because, again...
How long have you been playing this for? 4 years?
I will say, if it doesn't change and it's negatively impacting you like this, I think if you need to be honest and just say, because if it doesn't change...
I need to go.
I am going to have to go.
Totally.
I'm sorry.
Totally. And we promise you, no D&D is better than bad D&D every single time.
Imagine if you leave this campaign and then join another group that you enjoy, but
who
they play weekly,
regularly.
consistently.
Yeah, totally.
Bi-weekly.
Totally.
You'll be in such a better space.
And you know what? When you have this conversation, I recommend having it together because it sounds like the single approach isn't enough.
Yeah.
And again, don't corner your DM. Don't make it feel like it's like a...
Like, get together, like, mutually agree.
Get a takeaway. Have a nice time.
I don't know if these people get together in person.
Oh, do you not get together in person?
I don't know.
Sorry, I had assumed you had gotten together in person.
They might do.
That's just me projecting because we get together in person, I think. Get together in whatever capacity you do and all talk about it. Make the DM aware you're not attacking them. Just
you just want to talk about it.
Yeah, you just want to know.
Yeah, like we're saying, we're attacking to them. It's like this is the DM's fault.
Yeah,
so let's stop fucking giving them too much leeway because it should have been sorted by now.
Yeah,
don't attack them, but at the same time, you have a right to have this conversation.
No, totally.
You have more than a right to have this conversation. This should have been sorted fucking ages ago.
Agreed.
Like the last time everyone said,
agreed,
change the rule.
Agreed. And you can say. And we want the rule removed because we want to play.
So we want to play.
We like your campaign.
We love the
want
campaign.
To play with you.
Yeah.
Like we want to get together more. And you can say the points you've said here. It feels like you're only getting together just to play D&D. There's no spark.
Like I think if the DM hears it, just said normally like change the rule, they might just be like, oh, they're just trying to like butt up against me.
Yeah,
they're just trying to like get rid of a rule that I've put in place.
Totally.
But if you do say like, no, we want to play D&D because we love D&D.
Yeah.
We love the campaign.
Yeah.
We want to play in your campaign.
Yeah.
That's why we want to play it more often.
Totally.
It's nothing for anything else. It's not because we want to undermine your ruling or anything like that. Like,
it sounds like this is the only issue you've had.
Yeah.
Right? And you say OP, you love them dearly.
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
There you go. Show them this.
This should have been an issue that was fixed long ago
I
when
agree.
you all very amicably tried to resolve it last time. But for some godforsaken reason, it hasn't been.
Yeah, and I also think if you all get together and have the conversation, it may lead to other conversations between other players. I speculated earlier saying, does this person who can't make it want to play? It might open doors to have a conversation like that too.
Yeah. And maybe you need to have a conversation about why the DM is so reluctant because they don't want to roleplay the people. They don't want to kill. It's like, let's just have a conversation about what happens if what happens to that character.
Yeah.
Because if you sort it out, then the DM doesn't have to stress
There's no worry.
Like, can we all just be people, like be grown-ups and say, they're just not there?
Yeah, they're just not there.
Do we need an in-game reason?
Yeah.
Does somebody pilot them? If you get that sorted, that might also take the
a
pressure
lot
off
of
the
stress
DM's decision.
Totally. I agree. I hope that helps, OP.
I hope that helps, OP.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you're in this situation. I would also feel at a loss. I hope that helps.
I hope that helps.
Jack, can I have them sweets? Some fish.
They're very far away
I'm
right now.
so hungry. He got me the fish.
I love them.
These, I don't really like these actually very much, but I'm starving. I'm actually starving. I had a packet of crisps. I should have fed myself. Okay.
This is quite nice.
Oh man, I shouldn't have eaten this before I started reading. Can you hear my mouth?
Probably.
Jack, filled silence. Nice.
Just me chewing.
Nice. Okay.
Hallelujah.
Jack. Oh my god, Jack.
I was just feeling silence.
Write that down because I'm going to have to absolutely edit that down. You scared me.
I'm sorry, babe.
Oh, I'm scared. Oh. If I remember to edit that down, if I don't, sorry, everyone's dead. Anywho, wow, number 5. No, number 4.
Cheers.
Number
5.
Number
Number
4?
4.
Number 6? 5? 12. Oh, this is sent in by Anonymous. And she goes by she, they.
Okay. Thank you, she, they, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Anonyblaster. Gotta say it.
Gotta say it.
Gotta say
Gotta
it.
say
Gotta
it.
start saying it
Gotta
again.
start saying it
Anonyblaster,
again.
Squad Anonymous.
Yep, Squad Anonymous.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So now, I'm not 100% sure if this should be flagged as am I the asshole or advice. So I picked advice because I feel at the end of the day, advice is actually what I'm truly after.
Okay.
So I'm currently in a few D&D games, and some of them share the same group of players apart from one person here or there. In these games, we have a handful of newcomers to D&D, which I love, but I'm slowly starting to feel some resentment towards them, and it's making me ashamed of myself. I was new once and I made all the mistakes all the time, so I'd never fault anyone for being slow to pick up the ever-changing rules of 5e. But there's 2 players, Cloud and Edge is what I will call them for simplicity's sake,
Okay.
who we've consistently coached through basic rules and actions, and it seems like it's a wasted effort. Things like what dice to roll, what their AC is, and it's not something you roll for when you hit, etc.
Mm-hmm.
The list goes on. Cloud doesn't really do anything in the game, and Edge is constantly trying to play what she feels is her idea of D&D, which by itself isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's beginning to take a toll on the rest of us. Also, I understand if we've only walked them through these things once or twice, but Edge has been playing in 2 games for over a year, and Cloud has also been in these 2 games over the course of 6 months.
Okay.
So, first of all...
Is that the end of it, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, OP. You know, I know you're saying that you're feeling like ashamed of yourself for these feelings. Never feel ashamed of what you're feeling.
No.
What you're feeling is normal. That's a normal gut instinct to have. And
Yeah.
I fully understand what you mean.
Yeah, I think...
Being able to work and process these feelings healthily is important, but feeling them isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Because it's like, if it's obviously slowing the game down and having to like stop the game to be like, oh no, you're not doing this wrong. I think there becomes a point, to me personally, where you've been taught something, which you're probably going to need your hand holding for quite a while.
Oh my god, 100%.
Like, still now, like Abby, like if she doesn't know what to do, I'm happy to explain it. But
of course.
I think there does come
me, Jesus, there's things
like,
I
all of you sometimes need, and even me, like I don't get everything right. I understand that it's a complicated game. It is a complicated game, and it's going to take you forever to know everything, and you'll probably never know everything.
No, never.
But I do think there should be a point where, if you are interested in playing, and you are interested in, like not slowing the game down, you do need to try a little bit to understand how the game works.
There's an element of self-managing, right?
Yeah, you have to, like, if you're interested in it, I think you should maybe be like, okay, I roll this for this. I'll note that down so I don't have to ask next time or something like that. And, you may fuck it up a few times. That's fine. But if there's no effort to try,
totally,
that's where I think the problems begin.
Totally. Like, I think, first, again, I wanted to say, don't feel ashamed of yourself. Because, you can't help what you feel. It's how you act on those feelings is what defines you.
Yeah.
And it sounds like so far, OP, you've really tried to help.
Yeah. Don't be ashamed.
Don't be ashamed. So, I agree with everything that Jack said about the idea that there is. You watching my fish?
I'm watching you fish.
There is. Do you want this one?
Yeah, I do.
There is. It's the last red one.
Oh shit! No,
you have it. No, have it.
I like
Please
the
have
green
it.
ones more.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I don't mind.
I like the sour limey taste.
Oh, got you. I'm going to continue to wave the fish. I agree with everything that Jack said. There is a point where if you want to do something, you're going to learn it yourself.
Hey, you need to stop relying on the people around you, I think.
Now, I wonder if Cloud and Edge, it's harder for me to kind of use this reasoning because it's two people, but maybe the way they're being taught isn't in the way that they properly process information.
Correct.
I'm saying that from experience because I have learned about myself kind of recently, actually, that I do not learn well in a group environment.
Yeah.
I have to sit by myself and I have to process. I have a really
or with me.
Or with you. I have a really specific way I have to process information to understand it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of reformatting and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something similar going on here with these
maybe
two.
they just haven't got the information given to them in a digestible way for themselves to then learn from it. I need to listen to someone.
Mm-hmm.
If I tried to, like, it's a great job that, every time Wizards of the Coast release something new, they release books, because I couldn't find a thing that I am less interested in doing than reading, personally.
Yeah, no,
I hate reading. I can't read a sentence and then, like, take it in very well.
I can a bit more so than you, but
way more.
I have to reprocess the thing.
Yeah, I have to listen to the thing. I have to watch a video on the thing. That's how I, like, somebody directly telling me, that's how I digest information the best.
See, I have to do the thing.
Yeah.
I can't watch, read, listen, whatever. I have to do the thing.
Yeah.
Potentially it's a case with them.
Maybe they need to, you need to ask them, like, there's some things that you're still struggling with, like a year down the line, 6 months down the line, that, like, maybe you should probably know by now.
Yeah.
Is it the way we've taught you?
Yeah.
Do you learn better this way? Do you learn better this way? Like, what's going to be the way that we can get you to remember these things?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And OP, I'm not sure if you're the DM or if you're a player. If you're the DM, this makes it much easier because you can go to them privately and just say, hey, like, I've noticed that there is still some gaps in your knowledge. Could you let me know what we could do to get you up to speed? Because we
want that for you.
Yeah, because we want that for you, and I don't want you falling behind.
Yeah.
And hopefully that will open up a conversation of them being able to tell you what it is they need. I struggle with this
for some reason. With it. And maybe it's just because, like you said, it's just never been explained in a way that they can understand. True.
It might, regardless of whether you're the DM or not, to be honest, I would maybe suggest your DM have this conversation as opposed to...
If you aren't the DM, go to the DM.
And ask them to do this, because the DM will, the
DM
will
might
see
also,
all of this.
the DM might just say, like, I don't really have a problem with this, but, like, if you feel
have
like
a problem,
it's slowing it down,
I'd like to think so.
Or you might get the 2 cents from the DM and be like, yeah, I can see that happening.
Totally. And, I learn visually. I have to have printed spell cards. I have to have a printed sheet with all my abilities on it in front of me, or I won't remember. Maybe that's a super simple solution. Again, I'm spitballing here because, obviously we don't know.
We don't know the people, so we don't know what's going to work best for them.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a reason why there's all these different learning techniques.
100%, because there's a fucking lot to learn.
But no, it's like learning techniques. Like
sorry.
Kinetic learning and, by doing things.
Yeah, and that's how I grew up with kinetic learning.
Like, people do digest information completely differently.
Totally.
Like, you could try and teach Margaret the same thing by, like, talking to us, and I'd be like, okay, perfect. I understand.
Get it.
And Margaret wouldn't understand at all.
I would absolutely not understand, no. So... maybe that's something to consider. I mean, to be honest, I think no matter what, you need to have a conversation with them.
I think the conversation needs to be had because, in my opinion, like, if there's something like, I don't know, it's like, what can it be? Because what is it that you couldn't just write down?
Hey, maybe it could be a case of maybe they're just not that interested.
Maybe then, you don't know what? That's a great point.
And maybe to them, it's just like a casual thing that they're not really bothered about and not malicious.
And I've played with people like that.
Same,
like,
so have I.
I've played at the table with people who just don't take it as seriously as me.
Totally.
And like, do you want to know what? I feel like I had similar feelings to you. Yeah. And I'm not ashamed to say that because, like, I do take Dungeons and Dragons seriously. I take TTRPG seriously. I take video games quite seriously.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's what brings me enjoyment.
Totally.
And if somebody's not putting in the same amount of effort that I'm putting in at the table,
of course,
that can wind me up.
That's a natural thing. That's a natural feeling.
That's also, a problem with myself.
But again, I listen. The feelings you have are valid.
Exactly.
It's just how you act on them.
It's how you act on them. And the fact that you've come here and been like, how do we sort this out? You're doing great.
100% totally.
The fact that you want to overcome it and do something about it.
You don't want to just, like, blow up and get mad or...
and be like, why the fuck can't you remember it?
Exactly.
Do you know what I
Which,
mean?
to be honest, it could get to that point if it keeps going and you remain frustrated.
So let's
You
try and do
say-
something about it before that point.
Totally. You even say it's taking the toll on the rest of us. So
Yeah.
something needs to be said. Once again, just ask the question.
Yeah, just ask the question.
Just ask the question.
question.
And if you're not the DM, I would ask
Ask
I would
them
ask
to
the
do
DM.
it. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah,
Ask the
100%.
doctor. Yeah.
Ask the doctor.
Ask Dr. JAT.
I hope that helps.
Hopes that helps, Anonymous. Why
Yeah.
did I say that like that?
What'd you say?
Hopes that helps.
Hopes that helps,
Hopes that
Anonymous.
I've left the fish there if you want some, by the way. I'm done with them.
I think
I'm done. You want one?
No. All right.
Oh.
I thought you was what I meant.
No.
No, it's okay.
You want one? Here you go. Have it.
There you go.
There you go.
Great. There's just sugar
I know,
all over
that's
the table.
upsetting. I'm sorry. That's very disturbing behaviour. Okay, so this is number 32. This has been sent in by Cygnus,
It's number 5.
and they go by they, them.
What was the name?
Cygnus.
Cygnus. Cool.
Cygnus. Cygnus?
Yeah.
Cygnus.
Let's just go with Cygnus.
Cygnus. Hey, my name is Cygnus, and I use they, them pronouns.
Thank you for your submission.
Thank you so much, Cygnus. This may be a long one. Don't worry about it. And I feel like I have a weird question, but it needs to be asked. So, the initial question, how do I stop myself from being the unintentional min-maxer with my character? So, some background. I'm playing my first campaign of D&D and have a heavy fantasy background. I do love medieval fantasy, and I especially love anime. I play a lot of Elder Scrolls and other MMO games, so the goal is to make the strongest or the most useful character is always at the front of my brain. I have a very analytical mind, and we're playing a tough campaign, so I thought it wouldn't be a problem to make a strong character. But then I found out what min-maxing actually was, and I asked my DM if I was unintentionally doing that, and he was like, yeah, that's why I've been trying to tone you down a bit. I agreed, and I thanked him for it, because it's made the game very entertaining. I'm playing a High Elf Sarlacc, a Divine Soul, and Arc Fae, multi-class raised by fairies and blessed by Maestra. And in my mind, I decided that I'd only pick new spells or feats if my DM gave them to me, magic items and such, or if it made sense narratively for me to have acquired the abilities. For example, a near-death experience or other important plot points. The only thing I can justify a reason for to take every spell I'm allowed to take. The only thing is, I can justify a reason to take every spell I'm allowed to take, and can't help seeing the synergy of combined effects, especially across 3 different spell lists, Cleric, Sorcerer, and Warlock. So do you have any advice on how to better avoid doing this? Because I don't want to accidentally ruin the fun for anyone, outshine my party, and be the main character. It's not like I wouldn't have fun playing a different way either, it's just the initial switch, when I've always played games this way. It's more challenging than I thought it would be because old habits die hard. I'm with you. We're only level 2 now, but as we level up over the months and years, I feel like it could get worse as I get access to more and more things to work with. And I guess I'm just trying to find the balance between a big-brained idea and an evil scientist. Oh, Cygnus. Again, man, I feel like there has been so many negative conversations around min-maxing.
Yeah.
Like, that's the main topic you'll hear, right? Min-maxers are bad. Min-maxers are
This.
X, Y, and
Min-maxers
Z.
are that. Yeah.
And here we don't subscribe to that mentality.
No, I encourage you to min-max your character.
Yeah, but
Maybe not to like a degree where, yes, it would like fucking break the game, because there are combinations that can break the game.
Totally.
So, but I like my players to build strong characters.
Yeah, and because of that, for the most part, we all do, and we
Yeah.
understand that. However, I understand what you're saying, Cygnus, in the fact that you're kind of the only one doing it.
Mhm.
But just because you're the only one doing it doesn't mean you're doing it out of malice, and it doesn't sound like
Doesn't sound-
you're not.
Yeah, you're not. You're not.
You've made it really clear you're not. So
And I think, you're playing a Sarlacc.
Mhm.
And you're playing a Celestial Soul
Yep.
Sorcerer.
Divine Soul,
Divine Soul
and
Sorcerer.
Arc Fae.
Okay. Like, to me, the fact that you've picked a Sarlacc, which is very, very commonly a extremely powerful fucking build,
Yeah,
but then you've gone Divine Soul, makes me
I think it's maybe not that min-maxy.
like, I think the Divine Soul Sorcerer is a fantastic, like, buff,
Yeah,
like, support.
yeah,
You can twin spell healing, and you can,
Yeah.
hold up Bless, and, like, from the back line, firing off Eldritch Blasts
yeah.
and things like that.
I suppose maybe this is where you they mentioned that access to like the cleric spell list.
Yeah, like if you build your character to be strong, but strong in a term of like, I help the party very well.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you're not just like, I pick fucking all of the crazy, powerful,
absolutely. Which it sounds like you're not doing.
Damaging, and I make sure I multiclass this and do it just for like my own gains.
Yeah.
Like if you're mixing in there being a team player, then to me, I don't think there's a fucking problem with it.
I agree. And
I think
the fact that you went to your DM and you said, am I min-maxing? And they were like, yeah, a little bit. And you were like, thank you. I truly believe, Cygnus, you are already on the path of not being a min-maxer.
Yeah.
Right? And I suppose it's hard to give advice based on like not knowing your DM's feelings about it, not knowing your party's feelings or party composition.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the fact that your DM has said, maybe you were a bit powerful and I've been trying to tone you down is kind of the indicator. But
things balance out as you play. Like, a lot of classes can be very strong early game. The Moon Druid.
Hey!
That, sort of like come back into balance later game.
Totally.
So you might be really strong now, but, when you're multi-classing, you can fall behind quite heavily in terms of
100%,
ASIs and feats and things like that because you're spreading your class between two different things.
Multi-classing in early levels is rough.
It is. So, there might be good synergy there, but, there's also parts where you'll fall back. So I don't think you need to be, like, again, the mentality that you've got is great.
Yeah.
As long as you are using your power to not only just do all the damage, but help, then I think that's fine.
And, what you said about the whole, like, I play MMOs and you go for what's the meta. I so feel that.
Do the same.
I feel exactly the same.
Apart from World of Warcraft where I play a bear.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, I play a fucking BM Hunter, which is apparently Swamp Ass this patch. Great.
It's not great.
Great news. Year of the Pet, am I right? You can tell I'm not salty about it. Anywho, I fully understand, and if that's the only games you've played, and now you're in a situation where you're playing a game and you're trying to do the same, I can understand it's jarring.
Yeah.
But I think you're aware that it's a group game. In terms of advice, it's kind of hard because we don't know the composition of your party. Yeah. We don't know if you really are like that powerful.
Yeah, the Soul Lock has the ability to be very powerful.
Especially like later game when you've kind of got your eggs in your
a lot of people just Warlock 3 and then Soul Sorcerer the rest of the way. I think a good start is make sure you are not just blasting everything and you're like sharing that around a little bit.
Totally.
And you're helping the party out with your other spells.
Totally. Yeah. Cast haste on someone. Yeah. Like help someone out like that. Maybe give people bless. Give someone bane. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Don't tell you what not to do.
Yeah.
And this is one thing that min-maxers when we get into like the nasty side of min-maxing.
Yeah. Which there is.
Don't gloat about how much damage you do.
No, do not. Do not do that.
One thing that I will just give out to everyone: don't ever say, "Well, I killed that."
Yeah.
Did you?
Don't ever do that.
Because I didn't just see you on the battlefield, baby.
Yeah, I know.
I saw everyone
else, and it all goes to the same pot.
And you only got to do the things you got to do because the tank was doing their bit.
That was my kill.
And the healer killed you. Yeah, I killed that. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You didn't.
No, you didn't.
Everyone killed that.
And Cygnus, I am not getting that vibe from you at
all.
I'm
not getting that vibe from you. But that's where min-max is.
That's where it gets nasty.
The negativity comes in towards min-max.
That's where it gets nasty.
It can get a little bit like that.
Now, if it's a case of you're out damaging, right? You're doing the most damage output. There is so many ways that you can incorporate if you get that final kill, if you do a huge hit. There's so many ways to incorporate your teammates into that.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is something I feel like we all do.
I think it's if you do get if at your table you do how do you want to do this?
Yeah.
It's like Margaret said, you guys all like to like, oh well, they did this just the attack before, so I'm going to use that attack to find their weakness that this person's just created
while they're being distracted by this.
Yeah,
I kind of run past my friend and I give them like a look and I spit on their face. Do you know what I mean?
Like, it's like collaboratively tell them how do you want to do this.
Yeah, like I run into the space that this person's created for me.
Yeah.
You know, I add my firebolt to this person's chain lightning and they combine together. There are so many ways to do it.
Collaboratively do it. And totally. Like you said, it's not just because you do the most damage doesn't mean that you're the strongest player.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, if you outshine damage like too much, it can get a little bit like that.
It can.
Consistently.
It can.
But like tanks are tanks for a reason. Support characters for a reason.
Yeah.
Like the damage dealers do the damage because that's what they do best.
Totally.
So don't know. I'm not getting the vibe from you that
No,
you
I'm
like
not. I'm
this,
not getting the
so,
vibe from you. The fact that you're saying it out loud kind of says that you're not.
Like, and there's nothing like I want you to understand that there's nothing wrong with building a strong character.
No,
Like,
nothing,
at all.
nothing.
Like power building, is good because who wants to fucking suck?
Yeah.
Like who wants to come to a TTRPG and be dog shit?
I would say the only circumstance that it isn't good is if one person is power built and no one else has, or if everyone else is power built and one person hasn't.
I agree.
But again, I also think, Cygnus, just check in with your DM every now and then.
Yeah.
Just check in.
Yeah.
Like,
if you hold and bless upon the whole party and your concentration is taken up by that and you're just firing Eldritch Blast from the back line, I don't, to me, that's not.
Yeah. And again, we don't know exactly
we don't know that.
What's
we don't know
going on
that,
in the game,
but
I would say try and incorporate your friends and your party into what you're doing if it's so much damage. Try and buff your party as much as you can. Let other people have the limelight.
Yeah.
If you know that you're probably going to kill this thing, but then the cleric's behind you, maybe hold off from doing the thing. Maybe do the lesser thing and then allow the cleric the moment to shine.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Like,
and, I just don't, like, you pick Divine Soul.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's so many other sorcerers that will do way more damage.
Yeah, totally.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you picked something that's going to help a healing, a support-based sorcerer.
Totally.
So I think you're good.
Yeah, check in with your DM.
Check in with your DM.
Do check in with them and
collaboratively do how do you want to do this?
Yeah, tell your DM exactly what you've kind of told us here. Your DM will understand and work with you.
But also, play the character you want to play.
Totally.
If that, like,
that goes for everyone.
Don't let this wane you.
Yeah.
Like if you still want to play the Sawlock, do it.
Don't let online discourse tell you who you are because you know you more than some random thread on Reddit does.
Check in with your DM. Yeah, I think that's
totally.
That's a good one to say.
I hope that helps, Cygnus. I really do.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hope you have a wonderful D&D career.
Career?
Yeah. Okay, this is number 7.
Number 6.
Number 6. Okay.
Watch me get it right.
So this has been sent in by Anonymous, and she goes by she, her.
Thank you, Anonymous.
She, her. So I, she, her, am a fairly new DM, and this is my second campaign that I am running. It is an online campaign and is 100% homebrewed. When I originally made this group, we put it on hold until everyone's schedules cleared up a bit. So with that, I fell behind on creating the map, country info, etc. A new person joined the party, him, I will call him T, and T has never played D&D before, and we were finally able to schedule a time. I feel like I said that so aggressively.
No, you articulated it perfectly.
Thank you, Jack.
I would say.
Before session 0, I messaged the Discord telling them that I would get the campaign description and the map when I was done with work. T immediately messaged me and asked when I got done with work, and also that I should keep the plot secret, and only I, the DM, should know. I was just in brackets, I was just telling them how their journey was going to start.
Yeah, it's like a world primer.
Yeah. I spent 2 hours hand making the map to the best of my ability. Well done, OP.
Yeah, it's legit effort.
Oh, it is. This is like Ratty P working on
drawing that map.
Drawing the map by hand. T has kept messaging me asking if I needed any help with world building because he is a great storyteller.
That's nice of you to say about yourself.
That's humble.
That's nice. It's humble.
T has also messaged me 2 times asking if we should add players who are looking for a campaign, and I have said that we have enough. We have 4 players, but 3 out of 4 of them have never played D&D, so I do not want them to get overwhelmed. During session 0, T kept interrupting my plan to try to suggest what we should talk about. For example, I would be talking about how the players wanted to handle if they felt uncomfortable, and T suggested we introduce their characters instead. I gently said,
Shut the fuck up. No.
Shut up. I have that plan for the end because this stuff is more important.
Agreed.
Then continued on, especially for a session 0.
Yeah.
I sounded like Yoda again.
No, they didn't.
Session 0 especially.
No, you didn't say that. It was the way you said. Especially for Session 0.
Later, he messaged me and said, I made the map better, and sent me a file, and then followed it with, is this okay?
No, it's not. And nobody asked you to do it, so what are you doing?
I didn't reply right away because I was a little hurt and frustrated, but I was also at the shops. 20 minutes later, he messaged me with question marks.
Oh, God.
Oh, that is my pet peeve.
Just a point in life, if you message someone and they don't get back to you...
don't fucking send them question marks.
Don't hit them with the question marks.
Don't hit them with the question marks, because you know what you're going to be hit with if you hit me with a question mark? These fucking fists.
With the hands.
You're going to catch these hands.
Catch these hands.
Don't hit me with a question mark.
Catch them pure fire.
Ever. Man, again, small business owners, you will know this feeling, how impatient people are and how awful people can be.
I messaged you 10 minutes ago. Why haven't you messaged me back?
Question mark.
Because I have a fucking life.
Ooh.
Now fuck off.
Sorry.
Anyway, sorry, yeah.
Sorry, OP. I replied saying it looked cool, and then he asked for more info on the countries, etc., so he can put them on the map. I told him I would get to it later. He messaged me the next day asking for the info again. And it's not that I don't want to give him the information.
Yeah, I would say I don't want to give him the information.
It's just that it's not really important at all to the campaign about the countries, because it's a sea campaign. It is nice that T is very excited, and I'm happy that he's so interested, but I am getting frustrated and stressed with the constant messaging. I have work and other responsibilities that take precedence.
Yes.
While I do have the time to plan a good campaign, I do not have the time to give T all this information that is not even relevant to the campaign. I know he's excited, but it feels like he's constantly trying to be the DM. How do I set this boundary of I am the DM?
You are a very patient.
Oh, what a wonderful person you sound like.
Wonderful person. Because if this was me.
Yeah, God. I know.
Fucking long ago, I'd have been like, will you fuck off?
Yeah, and you know what? The fact that you can actually look at it like subjectively and be like, he's excited.
He's just excited. Because the thing is,
excited.
He is.
Yes,
but he's
obviously.
being a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
I'm being honest.
Yeah.
He is.
I was going to say, like, asshole at worst, like overstepping at best.
It's asshole behaviour.
Yeah.
What was the first problem? The first problem was
that there was like a talking over, and then T was like, "You should keep all this secret," and it's like, respectfully, T,
first of all,
shut the fuck up.
It's my campaign, not yours. So don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And secondly, talking over the DM in session 0 when they're trying to set up basically what sounds like safety tools.
That's a red flag.
Just
I had no idea what you were doing there,
Let's
Jack.
just
I'm sorry.
respect the other people in the room and let them talk.
Yeah. And I'm sorry to always bring it back to this. I can't help but get the feeling, because OP is she, her, female presenting, I can't help but feel like he is just taking this as an opportunity to talk over her and be like...
spread his masculinity out.
Yeah, well, exactly. To mansplain to the DM. Who...
Because he's a great
he's a great storyteller.
I'm a great storyteller.
Yeah, I feel like this is laced with some level of sexism,
I've said this to you a million times. Like, my granddad always taught me.
Go on.
My granddad always taught me.
Hit him with the knowledge.
I remember at one Christmas, I was quite young. I said a couple of jokes.
This was last Christmas.
I said a couple of jokes. Very young, and I was like, I'm being quite funny this year. I was like fucking like 7 or 8 or something like that. And my granddad turned to me and he said, never say you're funny. Let other people tell you you're funny.
Amen.
Do never in life, in my opinion, go around being like, I'm a fucking sick storyteller. Let other people say that about you.
I know.
If you're good at something, people will say it.
And if you're like, I'm a nice guy, you know what? Wrong.
Like, let other people compliment you. Don't compliment yourself, because it doesn't look good.
It's very, very, what's the opposite of humble?
Not humble.
Thanks, Jack. Chat, if you're in a watch party, tell us. It's very like unself-aware, I think.
Yeah, and very overconfident.
Yeah. So, OP, right. First of all, you have absolutely handled this much better than I think a lot of us would.
Yes, me.
I know for a fact a lot of people watching are probably feeling just as frustrated as myself and Jack are hearing this for you.
So, I'll take my silly head off and I'll put my actual, podcasting head on and give you some proper advice, because you've handled this extremely well so far.
If anyone has the brain cell, pass it over right now, please.
There obviously needs to be a talk.
Totally.
This is a talk it out
OP
situation.
even says, how do I set this boundary?
Yeah.
And man, I feel this so hard. This resonates with me so hard. I cannot set boundaries to save my life. It hurts me. It hurts the people around me. Like, it's something that I really need to work on.
Yeah, I think what you need to say to this person is, I feel like this person's been a DM before, so I'm just assuming here. What you need to do is you need to say, look, I can tell you're excited, and that's amazing, and I'm so glad that you want to help and stuff like that. But what I want for you is for you to enjoy yourself.
Take your DM hat off.
Take the DM hat off.
Put it to the side.
Put your player hat on.
Yeah. Don't worry about me.
You don't need to worry about the world building.
Yep.
You don't need to worry about the flow of the session.
Yep.
You don't need to worry about what we're doing next.
Yep.
You don't need to worry about any of that. You just turn up and have a fucking good time and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And let me
do it. I'll
do that.
I'll take it. I'm the DM. It's
I'm
my
the DM.
job.
That's my job.
And
if you want to DM, there's nothing stopping you DMing.
Yeah.
This is my session.
Yeah.
So if you can let me do that, I would appreciate it.
I'm with you. I agree.
Yeah.
I think, you can say, like, I'm so happy that you're excited. Like, I'm so glad you're excited, but, like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, I've got this.
I've got it.
And I also think you maybe have to be a bit firm, because it sounds like this person, some people can't read between the lines.
No.
You know what I mean? Some people can't read between the lines, and you owe it to yourself and them to be clear and just say, like, please don't ask me for this again.
Yeah.
Like, please don't come to me and tell me how to DM.
Because you don't need to be concerned about that.
Yeah. And if, like, I really hope this is the end of it. Like, I'm so glad you're excited, but please do not do it again.
Yeah.
And really set that boundary, because you can set a boundary and not be a bitch about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's...
Or fucking asshole or anything like that.
I think that's...
You don't have to... you can do it. You can be firm but fair.
Yeah.
Like, 100%.
Like, I think as women, we're kind of told, like, as soon as you're firm, you're a bitch.
Yeah, which isn't fucking true.
Which isn't true.
If he wasn't overstepping in the first place, you wouldn't have to have this conversation.
Exactly.
So let's just remember that the problem stems from him, not you.
Exactly.
So...
Exactly.
But I think, just saying, it's awesome that you're excited, but let's just take your DM hat off.
Yeah.
And put your player hat on.
Yeah.
When we're talking about my campaign, you're a player, not a DM. So just leave that to me.
Yeah, leave it to me. And like, thank you for wanting to help, but I don't need it.
But I don't need it. And
I don't need it. If I need it, I'll ask you, but
I
won't.
If you can, go as far to be like, I don't want this to happen again.
Yeah.
Like, because that is the truth. Because if it keeps happening, that's where the fucking problem comes from.
Yeah.
So if you can weave in there somewhere, like, please don't do it again.
Totally.
Because I don't need it.
Totally. And, preface it, with like, I don't want this to spoil your time as a player.
Yeah.
Like, the problem is, if you go in with something like that, they could be like, it won't. But, that's why you have to set the boundary and say, like...
Then you can be like, but it's for me as well.
Yeah, and like, please, like, for both of us, please don't ask me again.
Yeah.
Please just stay out of it respectfully.
Yeah.
And I think, OP, I trust that you're going to handle this with grace and decorum.
Yeah, and if you say any, I hope that's good advice. I
hope
that
so.
You can take just a few of those and have that conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do need to. Yeah, the boundaries do need to be set, and they need to be very clear.
Yeah, and the thing is, I know you should set the boundary in the beginning, and it's hard to set it after the fact, right? But now, once you do set it, you can make it really clear. Like, this is the line. If you cross the line again, then at that point, we're going to have
to have another conversation. And I don't want to do that.
And to be honest, OP, if you have that conversation and then they continue to do it, there's your answer.
Done.
You know what I mean? There's your answer.
There's your answer.
Oh, I'm sorry, OP. That sounds so fucking frustrating.
That sounds fucking annoying.
That sounds absolutely exhausting.
That would wind me up
hard. It would wind me up as well. It really would. So I hope that helps, OP. Yeah. And like, please
use any of that. Take any of those words and phrases and use them how you can.
If you do talk to this player, please let us know how it went.
Let us know how it goes.
This applies to everyone as well.
Yeah.
All these submissions. If you kind of act on any of the advice we give, please let us know. We try our best to give the what we perceive to be the best advice we can give. Okay, so this is number 8?
7.
7.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Let's go, baby.
So this has been sent in by Mitchell, and he goes by he, him.
Okay, thanks you, Mitchell. Thank you for your submission.
So hello, my pronouns are he, him. I'm looking for help with my group. In my campaign, I have one player who is bullheaded and cocky and rude in the game. His character tried to punch his way out of everything and is mean to pretty much every NPC they meet. None of the parties share information, and they are now struggling with direction because each of them has a piece of the puzzle. I've tried to humble his character by making it clear what needs to be done, but he does not change. How can I fix this? There's 3 question marks and 3 exclamation marks. Please help, I'm desperate, and I have no other DM friends, so I can't ask anyone. We got you, Mitchell.
We got you.
It's okay. What, honestly, I can understand. Why did I say it like that?
Understand.
I can understand.
Understand. Unga bunga.
I can understand how that is frustrating.
Oh god, yeah, 100%. Like it's like Dungeons and Dragons is a collaborative story. I know everyone's like, well, it's not though. You could just way under better systems for that. Shut up. We come together because we want to tell a story and we want to go on an adventure.
And because we want to play together as a group.
So we got to work together.
Totally.
So like, I know that holding information can be, you know, like cool and quirky and stuff like that. But eventually, if it's a part of information, you need to tell the group.
Yeah,
you need to tell
100%.
I think even going as far in this situation to be like, you've all got a piece of the puzzle. Now let's come together. Like being just open and honest and saying it out to the group. Like, I don't know what it is. Is it a story beat?
Yeah,
is it like is it an actual puzzle and they're stuck in a room? I don't know. But sometimes as a dungeon master, it is okay to break that immersion just for a second if they're just not getting it or they're holding information back and just saying like, you've all got a piece of the puzzle.
Like, you know, you saw in the beginning of this episode where Jack was like, if you just think about it for a second.
If you just think about it just for a second.
You can probably piece this together.
Yeah, like if you've all got something, if you can just think about it just for a second together.
Even give him a hint.
Yeah, give him a hint.
Like, I said it before and I'll say it again. Like, metagaming going like above board sometimes needs to happen, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Especially if you can see that everyone's getting frustrated.
Like, I've had puzzles before where they've been just a little bit tougher than I thought they were going to be. And I'm more than happy to just give out a clue.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with giving a bit of information above board and being like, something like that.
There's a fine line between being challenging and frustrating.
But I don't know if we're talking like metaphorically here, or we're talking about like.
Yes. No. Sorry. Yes, I am aware. So you know what? In terms of the whole not sharing the information, I think what Jack says there is, what was that? Was that me?
I don't know.
It was like crunching. Was that me? My feet are crunching. I'm gripping things with my toes.
I look back at you and you're just eating.
I just have some stones in between my feet and I'm just crushing them with my godlike strength in my toes.
It's true. It is godlike.
Sorry, Mitchell. Thank you. Now, in terms of the one player who is cocky and rude, you mentioned that you've tried to humble his character.
Have you tried to talk to him?
Exactly.
It does say him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, it does. That is my first thing.
There's a difference. There is a stark difference between like having that humbling moment in game where, I don't know, there's something where they weren't like the only thing they weren't able to do was punch their way out of it.
Yeah, totally.
And you know, like, and you were hoping that made them realize, but it didn't. So if it didn't, then there's only one other option.
It's totally to talk to them as a player.
It's to turn to them and just say, like, the rudeness and the bullheadedness in the game is affecting me.
Yeah.
And like, I would like you to maybe stop that.
Yeah.
Or maybe think about a different way to handle the problems without just going about it so brash.
Yeah, and I would, again, be a Brandon and say like, why do you approach everything like this?
Is there a reason why?
Is it because you feel like there's no other option?
Yeah.
Like,
is that I like that's what my character would do?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Is that the reason?
Yeah, I always think asking someone why will hopefully, and if they're honest with you and give you an answer, which some people aren't. Some people won't be.
It's fucking tough when you can just tell someone's blatantly lying to you trying to help them themselves.
But normally you can get to the root of the thing when you just say like, why?
Why is it?
But yeah, I would Mitchell, I would 100% recommend just talking to this person one-on-one directly to them and just say like, I'm really struggling with handling this because like, it's not fun for me when,
especially if you're rude to all my NPCs.
Yeah, like,
like if we're a heavy role-playing group, like DMs can think up NPCs, why they exist, their backstories, how they integrate into the world. Yeah. And then if you just come in there and root them and punch the fucking shit out of them, That doesn't make your DM feel good.
No,
and
it
I think you need
doesn't.
to express that. And
Yeah,
be like, you
totally.
know, I put these in here as like ways to tell a story.
Yeah, and it's making it really difficult.
An introduction to the new zone. You meet this
totally,
NPC and they can help you around.
Totally.
And if you're just being rude to them,
Yeah.
it's indirectly being rude to me because you're not respecting my time.
Yeah, totally. And, you know, especially if you've kind of tried to humble them like in character in game, you know, again, some people need to be told directly exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
maybe they just thought it was like, you know, you're just making a DC higher or something like that. You know, I think, and once you talk to this person, and we say it all the time, once you talk to this person and you kind of get to the root of it, if they continue to do it, then you have your answer.
You have your answer.
You have your answer.
The other part is, I think, easier to fix.
The not sharing information. I think, I think that's something you can address just with the group.
You can just go up a board and say, you all have a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
You can figure it out if you come
just
together.
Say like, do you need a hand?
You need a hand. Yeah.
Like,
and then also afterwards, you can make a point to say, like, well done.
Yeah.
Like, you came together there.
Yeah.
And because you came together, you figured it out and you did awesome.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, keep it up.
And just say, like, going forward, like, if there's everything, like, a moment that you're stuck and you're getting frustrated, just tell me because I can help.
Talk to each other.
Yeah, totally.
And, like, you know, just like those little comments can make people be like, oh, fuck yeah. Well, we worked together then.
Yeah.
We did really well.
And maybe they just simply do, well, obviously they don't realize they have a piece of the puzzle, right?
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's the first time they've seen this and they don't know that that's the situation.
Yeah.
And maybe, you know, they don't understand, like, your gameplay style.
Mm-hmm.
If you make them aware that that is how it's going to work, they'll look out for it.
And also, players forget things.
Oh my God.
So,
yes,
like,
we do.
if you give a player some information and you're like, and they don't want to share it straight away, sometimes it's just good to remind that player, just remember you found this out.
Yeah.
Because there's times where I've been like, why hasn't this player told them about this thing?
Yeah.
And then
just forgotten.
And then like one of my players will remember it and be like, didn't you? And they're like, oh my fucking God, I forgot and I didn't tell anyone.
Yep.
Like, secrets are good as long as you remember you've got a secret.
Yeah.
Because if you forget, then fucking into the ether.
Yep.
And
totally.
I won't know why you haven't told anyone.
Exactly.
So you need to remind your players sometimes about the secrets they know.
My God, 100%. So I hope that helps, Mitchell.
That helps. Hope any of that helps.
Yeah, I really do. I really think it's a simple case of having a conversation and
out of character to the player.
Totally.
And just ask them why, and then go from there.
Yeah, I hope that helps, Mitchell.
Yeah.
Thank you for your submission.
And join the Discord if you haven't already.
Yeah.
There's Dungeon Master advice channels.
Yep.
So if this wasn't fast enough to get your advice,
there's
people on there all the time who are willing to help.
All the time. So many.
I'm in there. There's
wonderful
loads
people.
of great DMs in there who I've seen some fantastic advice come from.
Oh my God, 100%. So, there is always people being like, how do I deal with this? And there is like 5 people who come back
with
every time.
5 different great opinions.
Every time. That goes for anyone. Anyone who has questions. Our Discord's always open and there's always people willing to help. So this is the second to last one, which must make it number 16. Yeah? What do you think?
That's about right.
Number 16? Thanks.
Number 8.
Okay, so this has been sent in by Eero, and he goes by he, him, his. Thank you very much, Eero.
Thank you very much, Eero.
So, hello, friends. I'm having some trouble with the start to a new campaign. I played in a fairly consistent campaign for about a year or so. The whole crew had a lot of fun and created many memorable moments for our characters throughout. We didn't finish things. What did I just say? I don't know what I said there. We didn't finish the campaign as we all got pretty busy at the same time, but recently have started talking about another module in the same world. You know what, Jack? I've been reading the whole time with the pop shield blocking half of it. If I just sat up a bit more, I can see the whole screen.
That's impressive because you've been reading very well today.
Thank you, Jack.
You read very well most times, but...
Thank you. Our DM asked us if we wanted to play our same... Sorry.
As soon as I say that,
I know. Brain turn off. Our DM asked us if... Our DM asked us if we wanted to play our same characters, and most of us declined, wanting to start anew and leave the fates of our own characters to whatever headcanon suited us best. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
One member decided they did want to play as their original character.
That's all right until your players go, so on my deathbed...
No!
On my deathbed, this is what's happening.
Oh, no.
On my deathbed, when I die...
I can't cry again. I can't cry again.
Sorry, Karen.
One member decided that they did want to play as their original character, to which our DM said that they would write some backstory that bridged the gap between the old campaign and this new one, so the PC could join the party.
Awesome.
I was a little leery because this particular DM likes to play hard, and is perhaps a little more antagonistic than the average DM. I didn't find out the specifics, but I learned that the DM had written a story that involved my character going crazy and murdering most of the original party. This is pretty contrary to the arc that I had been exploring with my character and feels oddly invasive. I didn't have any plans on playing that character again, but I'm still bothered that my character was used for such a dramatic turn in the story without my consent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also worried that my character could return as a mob in the new campaign, which I really don't want to have to deal with. Should I say something to my DM? I'm worried about starting a new campaign off on a sour note with the DM, and ultimately it's more annoying and frustrating than just truly heartbreaking. I can't help but feeling like it may be easier just to swallow my pride and focus on my new character. Much love to you both, Eero. Man.
Never be scared of your DM.
No.
There should never be a moment where you're scared to talk to your DM.
No way. There
should always be like a very easy, open line of communication between you and your DM. And they're the person that you should be able to go to.
100%. And I'm sorry that, you've said that they are a bit hard and they are a bit antagonistic. Like, I'm sorry that you feel like you're in a position where you can't talk to your DM because you should be able to.
And like, the thing is, we play these characters, we go through these adventures, we do these campaigns, and at the end, it is sort of like, okay, well, like, I have to leave this character now.
Yeah, I'm going to get upset.
And it's okay. And their story is going to continue. And that's why, you ask at the end of a campaign, like, we can talk about like where it goes, or we can just leave it there and sort of like you going off into a new adventure.
Yeah, 100%.
So
like,
I think it's very fucking wrong.
Yeah, no,
of
totally.
This dungeon master to say that you had an evil arc.
Yeah,
and
when
killed the rest of the party.
Especially when you've said that is never anything, and that is invasive.
Yeah.
I said it in the beginning. People are really attached to their characters.
Really attached to their characters. Yeah.
Oh my god, I cannot imagine. And I'm going to get upset saying this, and I know I am. So the waterworks going to come, and thank you for letting me cry again. I picture my Willow as she is on the king's cabinet. She's with her best friends and her family. She is married, the love of her life. She has children. She lives the rest of her life out happy like that. And that's how I will always picture her. If you just turned around, if anyone turned around and was like, actually, she lost her fucking mind.
And she killed everyone.
And she killed all of her friends.
It just undoes basically everything that you worked for in that campaign.
Yeah.
Everything that you did, every like achievement you made, every goal that you succeeded, or even failed and then learnt from.
And as a party too.
It's gone.
That especially if you killed your own party.
It's gone.
Oh
my God. It's all gone, and like, it just makes everything feel for nothing.
Like, I don't understand what the fucking point is.
I don't.
As the DM to do that.
But
That's not funny.
Is it because they are harder than other DMs?
That's not fair.
Is it because they are like...
oh, it's the dog.
How did the dog get under there?
How did the dog get under
we
there?
We blocked all of the things so he couldn't get under. 1 second.
Sorry if the lighting's changed. The dog knocked the
light over.
Yeah, like, it undoes everything. To kill your party as well, I feel like that's really insulting.
It's not just insulting to that person.
It's insulting to everyone.
But everyone else's character's dead.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Apart from this one person.
This one person. How does this one person feel about it? This one person must not feel good about it.
Can't feel good about it.
Like, and Eero, I'm sorry that I'm immediately so heated about this.
Yeah, what was the advice? Because I got so fucking upset with the story.
Sorry. Well, should I say something to my DM? I'm really worried that we're going to start on a sour note. And
you shouldn't be afraid of your DM like that as well.
And he also says, like, should I just swallow my pride?
No, absolutely not.
That's not swallowing your pride.
No
way.
No.
And I completely understand there can be people who can sit here and listen to this and be like, ugh, it's just a character in a make-believe game. Wrong, it's not.
And shut up.
Yeah, it's not.
Because it's not to a lot of people here.
It's not. I'm upset for you, Eero. I'm upset for you.
I would be so upset if that happened to my character after an entire campaign.
Exactly.
I couldn't ever think of doing that to you, Matthew, or Josh from our last campaign.
Never. And you know what? Even, like, my first character, Beloved, who was a bit of a bitch, like, she's probably the most likely one, apart from Reyla, to have, like, an evil arc, right?
Yeah.
She, once again, I see her in my mind. She is happy for the first time in her life. She has a partner that she loves, like an adopted child, good friends.
A business.
A business. Like, even Beloved, without saying, I'd be devastated.
Yeah.
I'd be devastated.
Because it just makes it canon, doesn't it? And then it's just like all of my memories of that character are soured now.
Ruined.
It just feels like the campaign was for nothing. No point, no reason.
And this could be like a personal thing that I do, but like when I hear a piece of information like that, I can't forget it.
Yeah.
I can't, even just hearing this happened, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, because this DM's done this now.
Yeah,
They thought it was acceptable to do this, so it's like...
I wouldn't be able to forget that.
I don't know if I could. But, like, it's tough, isn't it? Because this is given real weird energy.
This is real power trip
like,
vibes.
this DM doesn't... It's so tough, because I don't want to say your DM fucking sucks, but... This is sucky behavior.
That's really...
really sucky behavior, and you should... And it doesn't sound like they're approachable. It doesn't sound like there's an open line of communication.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're happy to upset everyone for no reason.
Yeah, this is really cruel. Now...
I think you need to go to the DM and say, I'm not happy with this.
Yeah.
I'd like you to undo it.
Yeah. Regardless of what anyone else thinks.
Regardless of what anyone else thinks, because it's unfair on me.
Yeah.
And it's unfair on the rest of the party.
Yeah, like, and, maybe your DM, because, you do say none of you had any plans, you weren't going to finish the campaign, none of you had any plans to play the characters again. Maybe in the DM's mind, that was kind of like the green light to kill them off.
Just like free reign.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, maybe there's been like a lapse in communication here. There's been a lapse in a fucking brain cell, let me tell you that.
100%.
I can't think
They cannot have been thinking about anyone else apart from themselves at this moment when they were doing this.
Or that one character who survived.
But did the character want this?
I hope not.
I don't know. I fucking hope not, yeah.
So no, Eero, you I would be so upset. And again, this is advice.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's try and advise.
Yeah, sorry. Man, that got me in my feels real bad there.
I know.
I'm sure a lot of people listening understand too.
Go to the DM.
Yep.
Tell them that this is unacceptable.
Yep.
And you would like it to be undone.
Yep. Sorry.
We have to have two fingers in between the mic and the pop shield.
I think I got so upset there I moved the pop shield.
It's okay, doesn't matter. And I think you need to say, I don't know, like this relationship sort of needs fixing. You need to be able to go to them.
To them and not be worried that they're going to take it out on you.
And a sour note, what do you mean? Are they going to take it out on you in the campaign?
Although, I think we may have read this wrong, is I'm worried to start it off in a sour note with knowing my character's dead, maybe? I
think it says a sour note with the DM.
It is. It does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I think to fix the problem at hand, you don't need to swallow your pride. You do need to go to your DM and ask them to undo it. And,
I would say you need to be honest. And you said it best to us. Like, you're upset that it was so dramatic.
Tell them how you feel.
Your character has never shown any signs of that. And just say, I'd like to remember my character fondly as the great times we all had as a crew together and all the memorable moments for our characters.
That's how you want to remember it.
Yeah, and you said that yourself.
In the time capsule, that's it, it's done.
Yeah, just say, I really want to remember my character and the campaign fondly, and, I really don't like the idea, and I'm not comfortable.
And I'm not comfortable
with this happening. So please.
And if they're like, well, tough fucking shit,
then if they say tough fucking shit to you and they completely ignore your feelings, then
I don't know what else to tell you.
We hate to say it, but get the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
that is such
a
red
already
flag.
Fucking red flag behavior.
This is red flag behavior.
This is real red flag behavior.
But that we don't know the context of your relationship. We don't know the context of really anything apart from what you've told us.
And are you comfortable saying, I didn't know how comfortable I was coming to you?
Yeah.
Does that does that make the DM go, oh, but you should be? Like, because
Totally.
that's the reaction that you need from your DM is.
Totally.
It did take me a lot to come to you because I am a bit worried about your reaction.
Like, I really don't want this to spill over.
Yeah, to spill over into the campaign to upset you.
Yeah. And say that, and then see what they say back to that.
Because if they're like, I don't really care, again,
then
they should take into account your feelings and then change it according to that.
Like, in an ideal world, the conversation with a normal critical thinking human being would go, sorry, I know I'm being harsh here.
Tell them. No, it's terrible behavior.
Yeah, like, Eero, you would go to your DM, you would say, I'm uncomfortable with what happened. I would really like to remember my character and the campaign fondly. Like, would you mind, please, not having that happen?
Yeah.
The conversation should go, your DM going, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware of that. Yes, I will change it. You go, I was worried about, like, thank you, I was worried about coming to you because I'm scared it will bleed over. And your DM goes, it would never. It
would never bleed over.
I want you
to like know that I'm approachable.
Yeah. Or, even if it's not along those lines, them saying, oh, yeah, well, thank you for telling me. Because it could have.
I didn't know.
Yeah, maybe it could have.
Yeah,
and you've prevented it. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the ideal.
God,
I hope that helps.
I feel like I just had 9 conversations in my head by myself there.
The toughie. That was a toughie.
That is a toughie. So, Eero, I'm sorry.
Let us know how that goes.
Please do.
That sucks.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
I am.
And if, I know we say it all the time, if for whatever reason you want to, like, write your own character's end. Write their end. It's up to you. Not like that.
Yeah. Not like that.
Not like that. I hope that helps, Eero. I'm sorry. So this is the last one. This is
number 9.
This is number 36. So this has been sent in by Danny, and she goes by she, they. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you for your submission.
Thank you. So, hey, my name is Danny, she, they, and I really need some advice on handling inter-party conflict. I myself am an autistic adult and was only diagnosed around 2 years ago.
Awesome.
Because the fact that you got a diagnosis.
As well, for getting through that sentence.
Jesus Christ. Because I was only recently diagnosed, I've spent a large portion of my life being told I'm too sensitive, emotional, I only see things in black and white, and I take things too seriously. I'm with you, Danny. I really struggle with sarcasm and highly sensitive on other people's negative emotions, and I tend to think I did something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I've been yelled at a lot in my past and was bullied in and out of school. Because of this, I tend to go into autistic shutdown anytime anyone raises their voice or tells me I did something wrong. I'm sorry, Danny. That's awful to hear, and I'm sorry. Typically in D&D, I have only had issues if I couldn't see the conflict coming.
Mm-hmm.
Recently in my partner's game that he runs, one of the other characters, Kittyco. Right. We have read one of Danny's stories before.
Okay.
It was I think it was a horror story. Mm-hmm. Danny, yes. And I recognize because of Kittyco. Sorry.
Okay.
Yelled at my PC, tempestuous. Sorry. Because she works. I nearly clapped us out there, but I can do this. Because she asked what Kittyco's brother name was. She raised her voice and looked directly at me, and in that moment, I couldn't tell the difference between me and my character and wanted nothing more than to run out of my own house and hide in my car crying. These moments take me days to recover from, and I've had to leave games in the past because when I explain to people what happened and why I was no longer participating in roleplay, they tell me that I was being too sensitive or to get over myself. I know in that moment...
Yeah, just get over your autism.
Yeah, just get over it.
Understand,
just this thing you've been diagnosed, get over it.
Just get over the autism.
Get over it. It's happening to my character. I know in that moment it's happening to my character and not me, but I just can't help it.
Yeah.
I've kept an open communication with players and DMs before, but I'm wondering if I'm being too emotional and do I need to learn how to get over it? If so, do you have any tips on what I can do or better ways to handle this situation? I love DMing and playing, but if I can't get over this, should I consider quitting? Thank you for taking the time to read this.
What was Danny's pronouns again, sorry?
She, they.
She, there.
Danny, I'm so sorry that your whole life you have been told, especially you go by she, they, I'm assuming female presenting, I am so sorry that your whole life you have been told you're too emotional, you're too sensitive, you need to get over it, or just get over it, just work it out. As women, especially because you have been diagnosed with autism, that is such a common thing, and it is so cruel.
Yeah, it is. Like, that's just, like, no matter how helpful you think that is.
It's not. How is that helpful?
It's not helpful at all.
How is it helpful?
Especially for someone who is diagnosed with autism.
Yeah, someone who's neurodivergent.
Like, that's not helpful at all.
It's
so, like, if you ever
not.
think, if that ever comes into your head, I'm just going to tell them to get over it.
Shut the fuck up.
Just keep it to your fucking self because no one wants to hear it. First of all,
shut up.
Shut your mouth.
That is not constructive. If you cannot give someone, like, constructive advice, if they're not asking for constructive advice, do not fucking tell them to get over it. Man,
just take a joke. Just take it, like, seriously.
Learn to take a joke.
It's not your fucking decision what somebody should take as a joke or not.
Man, it pisses me off so much because my whole life, and I'm not neurodivergent, at least I'm not diagnosed, I have been told my whole life, oh, you're too sensitive.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to pander to you. Oh, you're a baby. Oh, we have to talk down to you. Like,
it's so funny because it's all these people who, the only way that they can get a laugh and the only way that they can, we've said this before, the only way they can, like, be liked in a group is if they're taking the piss out of somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. And that's pathetic.
It's just like, you're so not funny and you're so shit crack to be around. The only way you can get a laugh out of somebody is if you punch down on somebody else.
And listen, all the people who've told me in my life, I'm too sensitive, or we have to pander to you, we have to baby you. They are some of the worst people I've ever met.
Yeah, and they're not in your life anymore.
And they're not in my life anymore.
Just fuck them.
Yeah, and they have terrible life views.
Yeah.
And you know what? To not be able to have the compassion and the empathy and understanding to see that someone is upset about something, and your first reaction is to go, just grow up, get over it.
Get over it.
I can't
I
stand
think you
it.
need to look at your fucking self.
Yeah. So, Danny, I'm sorry that you've been surrounded by people your whole life.
And Danny, let me say, even I, a non-neurodivergent person, even I, in times, have struggled with that. What is character? What is not character?
Yes, totally.
Like, me personally, like, where there's maybe been, like, a heated debate at the table or just, like, a conversation. And even I struggle sometimes, not all the time, to draw that distinction.
Yeah.
So, like, don't beat yourself up about it.
No,
you cannot,
my God,
because,
this is such a common thing.
Like, I imagine it's far harder for you than it is for me.
Totally.
So, like, do not beat yourself up about it. Like, give yourself a break, and you're doing great. So, just so you know.
Totally. And Danny, I can understand why someone looking you in the eye across the table and raising their voice at you, I can understand, regardless of anything else, how that could trigger your fight or flight.
Yeah, 100%.
I totally get that.
Raising voices, it's tough. Again, I've said this before. There's only like a couple of times in a campaign where my bad guys will raise their voice.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think there is way better and way more respectful ways to convey emotion in roleplay that doesn't have anything to do with you getting louder towards somebody, screaming at somebody, shouting at somebody.
Yeah.
I think tone and just like
delivery
is far better.
Like your words.
Using the words that you're actually saying other than just shouting.
Totally. I agree.
So I think, do you want to know what I would even say, Danny? You can talk to the DM about setting a rule about like not raising voices.
100%.
Because that is not a fucking uncommon thing.
No, it is not. Really.
I don't really like. We've never had like shouting between.
No, we've
players.
never had shouting. No,
you've had shouting like you towards me as the DM.
Yeah.
And you know, but I'm more than happy to like facilitate that.
Yes.
Because you know I'm the bad guy, and that's the fucking point.
Yes.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with setting that rule in place.
100%. And you asked the question, Danny, should I just learn how to get over it?
No.
You
That's
listen,
other people's problems making you feel uncomfortable.
That's people not understanding that, you know, they have to be accommodating.
Yeah.
And if you're playing with people, you know, and I'm not saying this about your current group, you've said it happened previously. Like, if people can't be accommodating to you and can't be empathetic and understanding, then fuck them.
Yeah, fuck that.
That's not a them problem. No.
That is a them
problem. That's not a you problem.
Marriage cancelled.
Oh my God. That's a them problem, not you. And, you know, you can't get over it. You've been diagnosed with autism. You can't get over it.
There's nothing to get over for
exactly.
you. Like, this is something, you know, that you have to live with for the rest of your life.
And
this person doesn't have to. I don't know that. I don't know if they don't have to deal with it. That's not the point anyway. The point is they have a choice to not be an asshole to you, whereas you don't have a choice to
how your feelings are felt.
You know, you don't have a choice to have autism.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can do something about it and you can't. So I think it's down to the person that can do something to change.
Is there ways to be able to help yourself? Yeah, of course there is. Is there tools that you can implement that will help you when you feel like you're getting to that point? Of course. But I want to make it so clear. This is not something to just get over.
No,
you're not being too sensitive.
No, you're not being sensitive at all.
And if people can't hold back their frustrations about it, it says more about them than you.
I definitely think that me and Margaret talked about this one earlier. Because this is actually the first time we've talked about like people who've come to us with advice about autism.
Yes.
You know, we aren't diagnosed with autism or anything like that.
No.
So, you know, we're trying to just give you the best, respectfully give you the best advice that we can from two non-neurodivergent people. So I think one thing that I think is you can have cards on the table and for the most part they'll be not used as you all just like go about the roleplay. Yeah. But if there is a moment of like deep roleplay or like contentious roleplay or like conflicting emotions in terms of roleplay, like you said, when things like maybe the volume raises a little bit, you can have a card, like two cards in front of you. One says in game, one says above game.
Yep.
If it gets a little like questionable where it is, if that person could just put their fingers on the card and slide it forward and be like, I'm still in character.
There's a visual cue and that person is signaling to you. They're going out of their way to be like, this is in character, by the way.
Because it doesn't take anything literally other than you put your fingers on the card and slide forward. That's it, it's done.
Totally.
Like, you know then that it's in character. They're not they're not talking to you.
Yeah, it's a visual cue, and again, you know, I don't want to fucking explain your feelings to yourself because I don't know what you're feeling. I don't know if that's something that would help, but you know, from trying to think of suggestions and kind of touching on what Jack said, you know, we're not neurodivergent. We haven't been formally diagnosed, either of us. But, you know, there is a lot of people in our community who are, and they openly are. And we would really love in this instance if maybe some people could weigh in and help Danny with this a little bit.
Yeah, because there is, Danny, I don't know if you're in the Discord.
Yeah, Danny is it.
There is a number of people in there that are openly neurodivergent and, you know, talk openly about their autism. Yeah. And they all play D&D.
Exactly.
So I think it would be great if we could if we could all give Danny some suggestions.
Yeah, because I don't want to take away voices from people who are actually experiencing this. Because
it's better to come from them than it is from
100%.
us. But we still wanted to read it out because, you know, we can give you some. Yeah. But I think it's better to come from them.
Totally.
I think let's talk about the chat that it'll go in. Which chat shall they have this chat in? So we can all go to the same place in the Discord.
Yeah, it could just be in D&D advice.
D&D advice. If you've got anything that you can help Danny with, put it in there. And then also, Danny, to read it all, go to that chat and then hopefully you can find it all.
Yeah. So I think, you know, the idea that, you know, the pushing the cards and saying, we actually had something kind of similar to this that we gave some advice on that worked was a DM noticed that two of their players ended up getting into it a little bit at the table and it was bleeding over. Yeah. We suggested you just have a talk to them and just set something up that if things get too heated, you can stop, you can go above table and just clarify. They have a rule where they say, I love you as a friend. I appreciate you, and this is just roleplay, and we're fine. Yeah. Now, you know, I know that won't work for everyone, but maybe having something like that set up, Danny, as well, where if you're ever feeling that kind of, that bubbling in your chest of, oh my God, this is about to happen, you can just stop and just...
You can just say, like something like that. Like, this is obviously getting a little bit heated. I want you to know that I love you very much as a friend. Yeah. I appreciate you.
And this is all in character. And then every single time after the session, they would message each other directly as well and say, I had a great session with you. It was just roleplay.
Roleplay was fantastic, but it was just roleplay.
And that's not hard. That's not a chore.
No, that's not a chore.
I know people will act like it is. That's not a chore. If you care about the people around you, that's not a chore. You should want to do that. And again, I think Danny being open with your DM about it. I would actually say go to your DM about it, and if you're comfortable, have the conversation with everyone at the table too, and just say like, do you mind doing this?
Yeah.
Danny, if you need to take 5 minutes, you should be able to take 5 minutes.
Yeah, take 5 minutes. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Take a bit of time, just, have a breather. Take a second.
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
Yeah. I would 100% the yelling thing. I would ask if you could just not have fucking yelling at your table.
That's not weird.
Yeah, that's not weird.
To not have yelling at your table isn't weird.
I would be uncomfortable if one of my friends started yelling at me in character, to be honest.
Yeah, like, again, there are so many different ways to express that you're upset that doesn't come to raising your voice.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I don't really like it. Like, again, like I said, I'm the only one that does it, and it's when a fucking bad guy's, like, yelling some fucking nasty shit.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I'm sorry, Danny.
I'm sorry, Danny.
I'm sorry that maybe our advice probably wasn't the most bang on there. I don't know.
Potentially.
But yeah, try think of some like visual cues, some like safety tools you can set up for yourself.
Yeah.
Talk to your DM, and please, anyone who has advice for Danny, please leave it.
Yes, in the D&D category.
Yeah, and
seeking advice.
Yeah, please, that would be great.
That'd be great.
So that was the last one.
Oh, baby.
That's it. We've gotten to the end.
We've
come to the end.
Of
that
our
was
journey.
a whole 431. Can you believe that?
That was a lot of advice.
That was a lot of advice.
That's insane.
That was a lot of submissions. Thank you.
It felt like 9.
Oh, did it?
But you sure it was 431?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Let me check. 496.
Oh.
It was so much more.
That's bigger than the other number you said.
Much bigger than the number I said. Yeah.
Okay, well.
Weird that, isn't it?
So.
Yep.
My squad blasters.
Oh, yeah. Roll them out.
My squaddy bees.
Yep.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
We do very much.
So much.
Thank you for your submissions.
If you like the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button down below because that will like the video for us.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe if you liked it enough. It's free. Doesn't cost any money. Hit the bell icon and you'll get notified on a Monday and a Thursday when we upload our videos, and drop a comment down below with any advice you've got for any of these submissions. Go on, Margaret. You're fucking slaying it.
Yep.
And just so we can have a little chat with you. Thank you very much. And we will...
Say it.
See you next time. Bye.